What's up, everybody? Paul here from the Hoops Crew with a post-game live that comes off the back of a 45-point win against the Gold Coast Suns. A bit of revenge for that hiding that we copped in opening round earlier this year. Looking forward to getting into that game with all the guests that will come rolling through, I expect. Right now, we have an empty green room. We've started pretty hot after the game here. But looking forward to getting presumably a lot of the usuals jumping in tonight to talk about the game. Of course, there'll be a lot to discuss. The margin is obviously really impressive. I feel like this was a really solid team performance. I think there were some players that we've perhaps been a bit critical of in recent weeks, and I think justifiably so, who really put in some fantastic efforts tonight. I think Tanner Bruin in particular was one we've been really critiquing and criticizing his disposal efficiency, but he was fantastic tonight, really lacing out his teammates nicely. Lots of other players who really stepped up to the plate. Ollie Wiltshire kicked 3 goals in his career before tonight, kicked 3 goals tonight to double it. It's a fantastic effort from him. If he can double it again next week, that'd be fantastic. And, you know, lots of real good positives. See, of course, George Stevens, we've been begging for George Stevens to get a game. He got a gig tonight and did some pretty handy things as well, albeit it wasn't a dominant performance from him. He finished with 11 disposals on the night, but there were some really good signs from him as well. Hopefully he finds a way to retain a spot in the 23. It's a very tough 23 to lock down a spot in, but hopefully he's done enough to do that, or at least give himself a little bit more time. We'll talk more about that undoubtedly with people who roll in tonight. So please, if you haven't already, in fact, Ben hasn't unlocked it. Let's see if we've got, no, I don't want the StreamYard logo. Ben, where have you put our QR code? In the meantime, I don't seem to have it in the background. Let me see if I can find the QR. Shout out to those already in the chat. So Kate just popped in saying all 3 Ollies were good tonight. They were fantastic. Morris pops in and says, after saying we are Geelong, by the way, says, shout out for Brad Close with those 3 goals from Wiltshire. I don't know. I think Ollie's bringing some pretty fantastic qualities to the fore. And, you know, competition is good. Whether it ends up being Ollie Wiltshire, Brad Close, of course, Tyson Stengel returns to the VFL this weekend. So there's extra competition there. It's a good problem to have, I would say. So we'll see how that shakes out, of course, over the remainder of the season. But I certainly cannot find that QR anywhere. So good work hiding that one, Ben. In the meantime, shout out to some of our patrons scrolling across the bottom there. Lots of amazing people who are supporting the Hoops Crew. Consider doing the same. Tom Vanos says O'Sullivan did well on King too. Yeah, King got some kind of uncontested marks that resulted in some shots on goal, but I do think, Sully did a pretty great job on him. Sarge pops in and says the Close is injured at the moment, apparently. I mean, that would obviously explain a little bit. There's my QR. Please don't hesitate if you want to get in on this, on the action tonight. Don't hesitate to use the QR there and jump in on your phone, on your computer, whatever it is that you've got. Feel free to use that QR code and get in on the action. I know that we've got a few other people coming. Ben Reeve will be popping in. He's at the game tonight, so he'll be making his way through the traffic, planning to get home. Thomas plans to pop in an hour and 20, so they're post commute there. We've got all the usuals. I'm sure Ethan is not far away. I'm sure Horatio is not far off, and plenty others too. So who knows? We might get Catman on board tonight, and I have been preparing for Catman in the event that Catman is back on the stream. We'll give you a little tease. Anyway, we're ready to go there for Catman. Plenty of really good things tonight. Anyway, we'll discuss all of that as the night plays out. Sarge follows up saying, ankle for Brad, he's a test, but not playing VFL this week. Tom also then asks, thoughts on Edwards in the ruck? I think he's doing well. Yeah, I think this was a really good game. He had a quieter one, was it a week or 2 ago? I may as well keep this off while we don't have any guests on board. Horatio, this is your chance, mate. If you want to jump on board, I know you were just joking in the Discord before that you usually last. Feel free to jump in first, mate. We've got no one in the green room right now. So if you want in, the floor can be yours nice and soon if you want it. But yeah, in terms of Edwards, obviously he had a quiet one a couple of weeks ago after belting Brodie Grundy. It's good to see him back up and about, kind of had a, we'll call it a soft kill tonight, and he took it. I think, that's not to say that Moyle was poor. Moyle got, I think, about 14 disposals and had 40 odd hitouts. But Mitch Edwards, did perform really, really well in the ruck, sharked the ball from some of Moyle's hitouts on a few occasions, did some really good things. I thought it was a really, really good game from him. Paul shouts out that he's the first like. Get on it, please. If you haven't already, drop a like on this video. And we've got our first person in the green room after. So, Ethan, if you're ready, and just give me a thumbs up as soon as you're ready. Let me know when you're ready, and we can get into it. But which stream did Catman go on? I'll go back and watch it. Love that guy. Which game was it? Chat, remind me. Who did we play that got Catman on? It was a game in Geelong. It was the Sydney game. It was immediately after the Sydney game. So yeah, Morris, if you want to go check it out, go check out the post game live following the Sydney win, because that was the Catman cameo, and it was a wild time. But we've now got some music ready. I need to still edit a little bit more because we've still got the little bit of an S in there. It's very hard to trim that song down. It happens so fast. We're ready though with I'm a Catman for any Catman cameos. Kerry pops in, just asking how things are going. Very well. It's nice. It's nice when we get a win. It's nice to get a win on a Friday night and then just take it easy for the rest of the weekend. So again, looking forward to picking through all this. Again, if anyone, and Ethan's just kind of flagged that he might still be a few more minutes. So if there's anyone else who wants to jump in before Ethan, take that opportunity, get in on the action, talk about the game. The floor is yours. I'm looking forward to chatting with you shortly, but Ethan needs a couple minutes up his sleeve first. So, but there's a lot to discuss. We'll keep relying on the chat for a little bit for the time being. Horatio clarifies, yep, after the Cats. New member of the Hoops crew, Atush, with Upper Cats, Max Holmes Brownlow. He's a rock star, isn't he? You'd love to have him at any club. Kate says, or prompts, thoughts on Whiteout. I desperately wanted to be there tonight, and things didn't kind of work out. I'll blame my parents for that, actually. I thought I had a ticket, and suddenly I didn't. But that's fine. I've got a game to go to on Sunday. My son is going to be playing halftime at Marvel Stadium for the Giants and Saints game. So I'll do my one trip for the week. We'll see how we go. Maybe I can roll in for the Cats and the Lions in a few weeks from now, post bye. But in terms of it, like, the environment looks fantastic on screen. Unfortunately, I haven't been to a whiteout yet, and I very much want to. I was very keen to do it this year. But the environment looks amazing. Like seeing the towel waving. It's very, very Americanized, and that may or may not appeal to people. But I'm liking the vibe. I've really been enjoying the sound and light show that the Cats put on pre-game. They've been doing a fantastic job of that. So when you pair that with then the completely the whiteout of the audience and the towers being waved, and there was hints of, did we have like a band or kind of cheerleaders and stuff going beforehand? Again, very Americanized, but I thought it was pretty cool. Atush doesn't like the jersey. I'm not absolutely in love with it, but that said, if I'd have gone tonight, I probably would have bought one. Maybe we'll source enough super chats tonight that I'll go and buy one anyway. Just on the Cat store. How much do they cost? What do they cost anyway? Cat store, Cat shop. What do they cost? I assume they're probably like $150 or something. Why do people not like sport when it's Americanized? I don't think it's people with issues with the sport, because we don't have timeouts and breaks every 15 seconds. I think it's more the environment around it. And yeah, look, I think there's just this culture about, no, we've got the way we do things, and we like the way we do things, and we don't want to change things too much. I don't think that's necessarily great, of course. But we'll see. I quite like it and very eager to go. But he also says it makes us look like we're wearing a onesie. Lean into it. Maybe the conversation needs to be white out top, blue shorts, just to make it not look like a onesie. Thursday night game of the season. You mean next week? Flash, you trying to suggest like next Thursday is the Friday night game of the season? Because it could well be Cats and Dockers. Quiet Strength Studio says Jumper looked a bit average, not going to lie. Horacio's in the background. We're getting an early... Atush, I hope you're ready, mate. We're getting a little bit of the red wine blinds nice and early. Where are we? Let's get my layout ready. Horatio, you good to go on your end? Looks like it. Awesome. Come on in, mate. How are we going?
Good evening. Yeah, good. Good.
Just got the curtain comments popping.
Just make sure the curtains are in future.
You got to get yourself in the right position. You don't actually base yourself out of this particular spot ever. It's just that wander in there specifically for.
They're the stars.
Oh no, that's a youth jersey. $110 for the youth jersey.
Oh.
That's rough. Then it looks like they don't even have adult size ones. Can't do it even if I want to. Yeah, adult white out jersey sold out. Great, good stuff. Couldn't do it if I wanted to. Only Carlton. Love you, Horatio.
How's it going?
Right. So, he says, say you love me back.
I love you.
All right, talk to me about this game. We have had the likes of Atush and many others popping in there. Pommy in recent weeks all saying, boys, like it's just you lost one or two. Let's not throw the baby out with the bathwater. And then we go and beat the Suns by 45 points. So what do you make of it all tonight?
No, good win. Good win. We started off a bit, I think
sluggish.
If like about 5 minutes or so in, the missus said to me, "Oh, is it raining or something? No one seems to be able to pick it up." And I said, "No, it's like we had an inspection today, so we were doing a bit of cleaning, and I had some shopping bags outside that I was going to get rid of a bunch of. When I went out to get them, about 8 o'clock, like they were wet. So it's like it's dewy. It's going to be real greasy out there tonight. So
to be fair, it didn't really look like. I mean, there was a couple of instances where you could see players slip. Certainly, obviously, the Zach Guthrie one is probably the one that's most in my mind, and he still managed to pluck it anyway, which was fantastic. But it didn't look like there was, either team was playing a variant of wet weather football. It looked like the conditions held up pretty well despite the dew, or at least the players adapted to the conditions really well.
Yeah, I'd say it's probably more the latter. Just when, you get out there and that ball gets a bit greasy. Once your hands get a bit sort of, they get a bit wet as well. Sort of absorb a bit of moisture. Tends to make it a bit easier to pick up the pill. So, I don't think it affected the game too much as it went on. But
both teams disposed at 74.8% tonight, which is up for us, which is above average for us, and just slightly below average for the Suns.
Yeah, but I do think that it being a bit greasy, sort of we sort of took a little while to get into it. I think more to do with that than anything else. But once we got going, no problem.
Any particular players that you want to really hone in on?
I actually thought it was a pretty good even contribution across the board.
Yeah, great.
It was one of those ones where pretty hard to give out some votes tonight. I didn't think there was any particular standout. Thought everybody made a real, everybody made a contribution to the win. So, but yeah, just I mean, on
Almost
the whole,
don't know what to say. We're talking too soon after the game. This is not how we usually do things, mate.
no, no, I just no, it was just a really good team effort.
Yeah, I'd agree.
Yeah.
Even some of those that, when it comes to possessions were pretty low, like, think Jack Henry, Mitch Edwards, Jack Martin. They all still contributed in different ways. Martin was probably the quietest of the lot, but there were still some, really handy moments where he, sprinted on the ball and tapped it on, kept the ball live at different points, even if he didn't necessarily pick up possession himself and do something with it. So I thought there was, even from the quieter players, there was still some really handy in like moments of influence over the game. I don't know if I've lost Horatio there. Oh, I'll give him a minute. We'll see if he bounces back. The red oh, there we go. There we go. Got you back.
Yeah, it just went funny for a second. I don't know what was going on.
Always been
yeah,
fun.
like Mitch didn't get a heap of it, but the thing that I really like about him is he finds ways to really hit the contest hard.
Yeah, he butters up.
Yeah, he forces the ball out of packs and stuff like that. But yeah, even though he didn't get a heap of it, I thought he's starting to exert a bit of influence around the ground more as we're going along here. So yeah, I mean, I really liked his game. I think he's coming along.
Yeah, he's developing really nicely.
Coming along really well. Well, I think, like, if you look, I don't know if you saw it in Discord, someone put up a select card of our draftees from that, all of whom played tonight.
Was that in the game day one? I might take a quick look while we're chatting.
It was, yeah. So,
yeah, sorry, I see it. Sarge shared it.
So,
I'll project it on the screen at the same time.
Yeah, someone put it up. Someone put it up earlier, and Sarge put it up again after the game.
Where are we? Let me.
Yeah, that's the one.
Keep going. I'll fix up the layout in a sec. But
yeah, like, there's
there we go. Oh, come back.
Yeah, so there's 6 of it. There's 6 of them there, and I mean, yeah, they were all. They all certainly made significant contributions tonight. I thought, like, George started off, probably struggled with the tempo a little bit early on in the piece, but started to work his way into it as the game went on. And I thought didn't get a heap of it. I think we all would have liked to have seen him, get a bit more of it. But the main thing was, I thought, when he, except for that first kick where he turned it over, for the rest of the night, I thought he used it pretty well.
Definitely went back in his shell a little bit and went back to using the ball by hand, which is certainly his preference.
I don't mind that, because, as you say, that, I mean, that's where he does his best work. So, as long as, it's the correct option. But yeah, I mean, his skills by hand are outstanding. So, more than happy to see him doing that, as long as it's not, as long as it's the right option. So, and I thought that was, you wonder sometimes, when guys that are dominating the VFL come up, how's the decision making going to be? And I thought, again, as the game went on, he worked his way into it. So,
agreed.
And all the other
decision making, and he's certainly not inexperienced like our boy George, but J. Cole Jasny, I was like, he didn't have huge moments, but I think one of the things that often, I think, sets the heart racing for all of us a little bit with him is as soon as he gets a little bit of space and a little bit of time, the decision making tends to go to shit, and the execution can start to get a bit wobbly. But there was a few times where he burst through the play. Like there's one in particular I can think of where he burst through the play, shook off a few guys, then had a bit of time, and that's usually when. Yeah,
that's usually when
his brain is going faster than his body, and it all kind of goes to shit. And he didn't. He lowered the eyes, nailed the pass. Didn't get used as a link, like a chain handball, because he's probably one of the slowest blokes on the field. But got himself in the right position, continued on, and was ready to keep building on that play. That was one of my plays of the day, that particular one. And there was just some really good signs from him. He was really poised and calm when he needed to be. We've obviously, we've spoken a lot about over the last few years. That 2024 season from him was fantastic. He started off like a house on fire when he first got back this year, but then kind of came back to the pack a little bit and got exposed once or twice. This was a step back in the right direction, I would say.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think the thing with Jake is you've just got to say, look, mate, take the first option. Don't think about it too much. Just take the first option.
Yeah.
And I think that was what he was doing tonight. There was no, trying to do much with it or overthink the situation. Just when he, the attack on the contest was good. And then when he got it, he was just giving it off. He wasn't thinking too much about it because, decision making has never been his strong suit.
Not his one would, no.
So, I mean, that was good to see because he didn't have a great game last week. So, in that regard, and this is the thing. I think the assumption, I think we all tend to think that, good sides, genuine contenders will respond. After a loss or two, that they'll find a way to, to get their way back, into it. That it's not going to, that's not going to sit there and fester and stuff like that. Or, I mean, and look, Ethan will talk. I won't steal Ethan's thunder because I think this is the first time I've ever been on before him. But he made the point where he wondered if our game plan was just sort of holding back and letting them fuck it up, basically, and then we would just make them pay from there. And
I think that was certainly a thing to an extent. I think we didn't play a great game in that first quarter or so. I think we were a little bit too run and gun and just kind of launch the ball, dump the ball forward a bit recklessly early on before we lowered our eyes. But then they were playing a very uncontested game. We were kind of just letting them go sideways and meander along. And they might chip and make their way down the ground, but we set ourselves up to, because in that first quarter we did get exposed. The rushed play going forward then left us kind of vulnerable to the fast players going the other way, and they were getting those uncontested marks and shots on goal. We brought it back to a game where we could leverage the aerial strengths that we've got, and it worked out really well for us. So I'd agree with yours and Ethan's sentiment.
Yeah, well, I know that's kind of a. At first, when he said that, I thought, do we really sort of do that in footy? I know that's a basketball thing where it's like you could take that shot, mate, because you aren't going to. I know what you're like. You're not going to make it. I know you're going to jack it up, but you're not going to get it. But yeah, I think there might have been, give them enough. There might have been a little bit of just, give them enough rope to hang themselves. Just let them make those errors and make sure we're in the right positions. But I think, I think.
Well, in essence, that's the game these days too. Like the errors happen. We're playing a high speed run and gun game, and all teams are trying to go down this path. So really, like, you're accepting that the errors are going to happen. It's about where do the errors happen and limit the the number of times where that occurs in the worst parts of the ground. I don't care if Geelong. Well, I do care to an extent. Their scoring opportunities missed, but I don't care as much if Geelong turns it over deep in our forward 50 because we've butchered the kick or we've not hit Jeremy Cameron on the lead or whatever. You don't want too much of that. Opportunities gone begging can come back to bite you, as we've seen recently. But but I'd much rather that and have ourselves nice and set structurally behind the ball, so that we don't make those errors, at half back or down that center line and just have it whisked straight back over our heads for easy uncontested goals, which is where we've been gotten in the past. So,
yeah, well, that was one. I mean, I think the times where that sort of thing happened tonight, because I mean that's been a bit of a thing in recent weeks where it's like if we cough it up or that's it, the ball's gone and the other team's just going to score. Like we've been once, the opposition efficiency against us has been a little bit too high for my liking.
Agreed.
And the way that they were getting it in there early, I thought, we can't be given, are we going to do this again this week, are we? But I think the main thing tonight was, I wasn't too, at no point was I thinking, we're in trouble here. Because it's like we're winning we're sort of winning in the areas that matter, right? And we just have to persist and just keep doing what we're doing.
Things,
and and we'll be all right, So, and we know, recent history has shown us that, like I don't know, watching them closely tonight, I just can't help but feel that something's not quite right with them. Like they're just, I don't know. I feel, I don't know. I feel like there might be some off-field issues or something going on.
Well, remind me, and chat potentially help us out a little bit here as well. I'm just trying to think of who of significance is out for them. Obviously, Jared Witts has been a staple for more than a decade, but
they dropped him.
They dropped him. Yeah, they had ruck coverage. Lockie Well has been there a bit, but and he came out this week. But who else of note? Who am I not thinking of that was out this week? I'm drawing a bit of a blank at the moment because I think one of the things that I kind of identified as I was going through and previewing the game beforehand is I go, there's wonderfully talented people here. Like you look at that forward line, you go, okay, Walter, King, Long, Miller, Humphrey, Petrarca rolls through there too. Like they've got phenomenal players that go through that end of the ground. And obviously young up and coming prospects like a Leo Lombard that can go through there too. Their defense is pretty, they've got some rock stars there, but then I start to look at kind of the periphery of that 23 and I see Ben Jepson. And not that these guys are bad players by any stretch necessarily. You've got to be a good player to make it at the AFL. But Ben Jepson, Lockie Goulburn, Jai Murray, Jeffrey's giving me a bit of a gun. But like I look at that and I go, hang on, is there depth? Is the depth kind of maybe the Gold Coast problem at the moment where they're relying on, a top group of 12, 13 blokes. And then after that, if those guys are being contained a little bit, as Christian Petrarca was tonight, as who else was receiving the tag, as oh my God, I've just gone blank on his name. Matt Rowell, as Matt Rowell was dealing with Atkins a fair bit. If those guys start to get squashed in some capacity, do they have that next tier to be able to pick up the slack? And my concern for the Gold Coast when I look at this list, and I'm going to quickly bring up their squad just in case I'm forgetting anyone who's maybe out injured or something like that. But my thing is right now, maybe they don't have that. They don't run deep enough yet. Or they've got the talent, but they just need some more time to mature. Like Alex Davies has done some good things for him in the past, but he didn't play tonight. Jamara's obviously was out again. Nick Holman's been, sorry, and this is just me looking at their squad now. Nick Holman's been there a bit, but I wouldn't like he's a good hard worker, but I don't think he's necessarily a rock star player.
No, but I think
Ethan Reed is another young, tall.
I can't. I don't like. I don't know. Some of those, like that Goldman. I thought he was
He bopped up
okay.
and did some handy things.
And I
Yeah,
knew he wasn't like
kicked
he
it out on the
wasn't.
floor a couple of times, but he was giving it a crack and he got in some good positions.
Yeah, I don't know. Something just seems. Yeah, of course you can say this about every team that loses or whatever, but I don't know. Something just seems off with them. I'm like, I can't put my finger on it exactly, but I'm like, there's too much class in that team that, like I feel like they should be better than they are. And you can shut God, like, the whole idea of when you see it with us, one of our guys gets sat on. We have other guys that come in and fill the void.
Someone else bobs up. Yeah.
We got other people that, and I reckon that is one of the signs of a good side, a well-coached side, but also a side that is really playing well as a team, is when you see a bloke being tagged, right? As a unit what you have to do to get that bloke loose.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Understanding their game.
Right. To be able to say, hey, we've got to start putting pressure on this bloke that's tagging him, right? And sort of saying, hey, you want to sit on this bloke? Well, we're going to sit on you. And that type of thing. But also, knowing ways to work these guys into the game somehow and shatter the tag.
Well, think about, obviously, we're going back a little bit now, but how the Cats, and also to not so much the Suns, they didn't have the talent to be able to, especially at the early stages, to support Gary Ablett Jr. when he was at the peak of his powers. But you think about when he was at, top flight at the Cats, he was carrying these blokes on his shoulders, like they were hanging off him. But the boys knew, okay, we set this screen here. That allows him to scoot around the back and get that quick handball receive, and then off he goes. And they worked out, this is our way to free him up.
Right.
And I think we're seeing similar sorts of things going on with, the way we've had to adjust for Tom Stewart and the way he was getting that attention. A few years ago. Okay, let's flip him into the midfield. Let's move the magnet around here. Let's do these sorts of things because that frees him up. And then potentially you can go back to playing his role. And I wonder if they're developmentally still at a point where they need a bit of work in that space. And I do think, going back to my other point, is I don't think they've got the depth yet.
Yeah,
Mark also makes a fantastic point. Damien Hardwick is in fact a flog.
Yeah, that could also be true. I don't want to dwell on them too much, but
let's get back to the Cats as Ben says, the Cats back.
I know. I always like to just sort of consider, when considering our performance, considering where the opposition's at and
it's important,
all that kind of thing, because there's you have a nice 7-goal win. It's you're never going to knock that. But, when you're sort of really off, how are we going? Who have we beaten? You want to say, well, hey, that was a bloody good Sun side or whatever, Or
the Swans or the Lions or hopefully Freo in a week. We want to beat the best teams.
Yeah.
I can deal with losing to a Carlton who won't play finals. I can deal with those ones. I don't like it, but I can deal with those ones. We have a good knack of losing to teams who aren't contenders. Yeah.
Well, and I mean that's the thing too. I don't know if you saw any of the game last night, but I think in seeing how Adelaide played last night, that sort of makes our performance last week maybe not quite as bad as we thought it might have been.
No, they're starting to come good at the right sort of time. I'm pretty impressed by the way Adelaide is building their way into their season.
And I mean, look, Jordan Dawson's playing out of his mind at the moment. Like he is just red hot. And I mean, look, he's one of my. He's been one of my favourite players in the comp for a long time, because when you want to talk about leaders and guys who stand up constantly in the big moments,
that's him.
He. Yeah, and people sort of saying, is it him or Bond? I think at the moment, like, it's Jordan Dawson, because he stands up everywhere,
every time,
they need
and all around the ground. You're right.
So yeah, so that's the thing. I don't think last week's loss. Okay, it was only a point anyway, but I don't think last week's loss was perhaps as bad as we thought, given how the Crows played last night. And that's the thing. We've responded tonight. It could have been. We were all sort of thinking, is there going to be a bit of a whiteout curse or something like that happens?
I was worried about it. Worried about
it. Potential banana peel game. But no, and that was the thing. We sort of worked our way into the game, and then once we sort of got ourselves going, and we had the answers for the rest of the night, which is what you always want to see. And the other thing I thought that was important for us tonight is we weren't letting in those cheapies in time on. We went back to we're the ones scoring the cheapies in time on, not the opposition. So that was something that I was quite pleased with. But
what do you make of this comment from Mighty Spurlock here, who says, and this will be, I presume, given that Spurlock also referenced Damien Hardwick a moment ago. He said we got home ground advantage with the umpires. That is laughable.
Don't get me started. Don't get me started on the holding the balls. Like, what the fuck?
The umpiring was. Don't get me wrong. Yeah, the umpiring was dog shit both ways. I think the commentary teams, the Fox Footy coverage, they cited, obviously there was some of those ones that Jeremy Cameron got on the end of, and absolutely they were kind of questionable. But at the same time, you've got the Matty Rowell one that didn't get called, which I suspect is one that's probably at the forefront of your mind that resulted in a goal. I think it was Ben King in the end. We've got the Ollie Dempsey mark that was, for some reason, there was a goal. So it kind of, I think it actually kind of balanced out at the end of the day. The bad decisions from the umpires, I think, kind of favoured either team equally in the end.
Like, the holding the ball, though, is really it doesn't matter what game I'm watching, it gives me the shit. But I just felt like
he tried. So they're all trying.
I felt like tonight they got every red hot one and we got nothing.
Yep.
Like, there was a couple there. I think there was one where might have been Mitch tackled Rioli out on the wing. No holding he took him on and tackled him. That's the thing. As far as I'm concerned, if you take you look a bloke in the eyes and take him on, right? That's it.
Should be done.
You get tackled, you're gone. Right? Yeah. There's no needs time to correctly dispose. Look, you take a bloke on, you're gone. That's like 3 steps, you're gone, mate. It's simple as that.
The ones that also baffled me a little bit, and on the topic of kind of holding the ball, there was those ones that didn't get called, and then there were others that the player had the ball for seemingly no time at all.
That's what I'm saying.
And we did benefit from one or two of those, I think, just as much as the Gold Coast did. But they were lightning fast on the whistle in a few cases, and there was a free kick called. I'm like, there's no consistency to even the duration that you're allowing a player to have. At least if there was that, we might disagree with it, but at least it's relatively predictable. But it's not. They can't even get that part of it right.
Yeah, it's like, look, with the other stuff. Like, a couple of those free kicks that Jezza got, I thought they were good kicks that put the defender under pressure, right? Yeah. So, and that's the thing, that comes with, a good, well-directed pass into your forward line. If you've got a leading forward coming out and you can put it to their advantage, then, particularly these days, right, with the pace of the game, you are putting the opposition defender under pressure. And
Yeah.
like I go back to when that game in 2016 when Danger hurt his ankle in the first 2 minutes and played full forward for the rest of the day because he couldn't run.
The Hawthorn game, the Easter Monday superstar game.
Yeah, maybe he kicked like 6-5 or something like that.
Yeah.
Probably should have kicked 8 that day. And then we only ended up winning by 3 points or something. And I remember Clarko saying after the game that defenders don't get taught to play one-on-one anymore.
No,
So it's like when you're in that position to hit a bloke on the lead with a bullet, do it, because the guy that's on him, most of them don't know how to play one-on-one defense anymore in that sort of position. So there's a bloody
little rock star called Connor O'Sullivan who just doesn't matter how you need him to play. He's got it covered. One-on-one, zoning off. Who cares? He's a gun. He's got it covered.
And the good,
but you're right. As a general blanket thing, you're absolutely right. Like they're not being they're not being trained to play that one-on-one style of game.
Yeah,
there's probably hints of it for a while there. Maybe the fullback would have to especially if you were dealing with like a Tom Hawkins a few years ago. You probably need to learn how to wrestle a little bit and try and navigate your way through those. But in the absence of those big brutes these days,
we'll see. If you notice with a couple of those ones that Jez have got, Sam Collins knows how to play one-on-one. He bloody made a few of our blokes feel it tonight. That's for sure.
Yeah.
And that was the thing. We sort of, it's not just you pick out the good matchup too. We, like when Jez was playing on the young fella they got back there who looks like he could play a bit.
Yeah.
But when it came to, being in that fast leading one-on-one contest and the players got a meter on him, just knowing not to give away that, you've got to sort of make a contest, but just having the nous and the experience to know how you can put the bloke off
without chopping the arm or pushing him in the back. You're absolutely right.
Right, because these days umpires are going to call that. So yeah, but talking about Sully, yeah, another great game from him. He's just going to keep getting better. That's the thing. Like, it's bloody frightening. Like he plays now like he's been playing for 10 years as it is. So
without the arrogance and attitude, but he's almost peak Chad Corns already. I loved the way Chad Corns used to get around the ground and intercept and bring the ball to ground and then mop it up himself and whisk it away. And it just feels like, and maybe Chad Corns a little bit on the mind because I've been playing a lot of 23-0 this week, but and he's a pretty good one for 23-0. But there are, like, as I was kind of looking his name and I was thinking about the way he used to play. I was starting to draw these parallels between him and Sully, and Sully played that game tonight. You're right, James Workshop. Chad was such a Chad, but we'll ignore that part of it. Yank also says, quote from Dimmer's presser. He said, at the end of the day, it was like the Roman Colosseum. I reckon the umpires were waiting and the crowd would do this one thumbs down, and then all of a sudden free kick. Oh, it's like some sort of noise from the crowd. Yeah, he's pouting. Props to you, Dimmer. You suck.
Yeah, I particularly at first, Sully reminds me a bit of Tom Harley, to be honest. Like, just his ability to read the play back there and just mop things up. Great underrated contested mark. And future captain.
Oh, reeks of captaincy. And that's great. One player I also wanted to shout out and pick your brain a little bit about was Shannon Neal, because you were talking about Sam Collins before, and in that first quarter in particular, he was giving Scratcher a bit of a bath. But I was really stoked, and I'm sure there's a bit of support from the coaches too, because certainly there was a structural change that kind of came into play here. But the way Scratcher got up the ground and started to work him work him down the ground, and that freed him up a little bit to get some uncontested stuff, but also he got a little bit of touch, and that improved his contested game. The way he manipulated the contest when they were one-on-one. He really worked his way into the game nicely. It was a good game for him because he's been pretty out of form for a few weeks.
No, exactly. And that's
the maturity you want.
And I think that, that might have, I think that would have had to have been the instruction at quarter time to him. Is just like, look, mate, you're not going to look, I know you're a big bloke and all that, but this guy is made of granite, right? You aren't going to beat this guy body on body. Like, this guy's carved out of stone, right? But you're more athletic than him. Run him around. Get up the ground. Make him play your game. Don't get sucked into playing his game. And I think that's what Scratcher gets sucked into sometimes, is sort of trying to be that
traditional key forward role.
Well,
the Tom Hawkins that so many people wanted, kind of wanted him to be.
Yeah, he's a fairly big unit himself, but I don't think he's that. I don't think he's that sort of. I don't think he's a strength guy. And if he's going to get sucked into these, one-on-one sort of tests of strength, I don't think that's his forte. His forte is his athleticism and his ability to cover the ground. And I thought, certainly, you're sort of talking about him coming up the ground. I thought when he came up and got those couple of marks, just like in the centre, come up, got those marks, just forward to centre in the square. First one, I think they might have marked it or cleared it, and then the second one we got a goal out of. But it's like just coming out, taking those marks, and I remember seeing, and I'm not comparing Scratch to this fella, but I remember seeing Wayne Carey do that once. After quarter time, they were playing a game at the G that I just happened to pop into, and he's just let out, and it was like one tap down, one of their midfielders hit him on the chest. He's 60 metres out from goal, just goes back and bangs it through. And then the very next play,
to line those up.
Right. And then the very next play, they did it again. I'm like, that was the first time I'd seen Wayne Carey live, been at a game and seen him. And I was like, this bloke's unbelievable. How good is this guy? He's just kick me the ball and I'm just going to go back and bang this through from 60 out like it's nothing. And that's the thing. If he can run, like you saw it, if he can run blokes around, use his athleticism rather than trying to use strength, and he his jukes are, when he's getting into those positions are much, that's when his jukes are. He's got the sticky mitts, So, and the thing with Scratch is he's the best shot in the comp. Make no mistake, anywhere within 60 metres, mate, those goals are in danger. It's a bit like he hasn't quite got the range of someone, say, like Bernie Quinlan, who, if he got it within 75 metres, he kick him from anywhere.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'd back Scratch. If he's 60 out directly in front, I'd back him to kick it every single time because he needs
his game up, because for all that he kicked this beautiful goal from 60 and kind of in the pocket somewhat, he then also had the little bloke Ollie Wiltshire kick it from about the same distance only a few minutes later. So he's got to really assert some dominance here and add an extra 10 metres to his kicking game.
Yeah, and while
he did really well. It was great.
And that's it. But that just shows you how important it is for your your centre half forward to impose himself on the game, because when they do that, it changes the whole course of the match.
Yeah, agreed.
Right, like that was where you could just see everybody kind of lifted. Once he gets a bit that's the thing. Once he gets a bit of confidence up, and I did there's
no stopping him.
Look, and I thought he was, like he wasn't getting the marks and stuff in the first quarter, but that like the first goal that we got was because he went up for a mark, hit the deck, butted up, sort of got a tackle that
dished it off.
forced it out. And then I think there was a ruck hit out or something where he basically got it to advantage that we later on in the quarter. But just he was doing a lot of those little things that he's not going to, not necessarily the
Unheralded
sexy
things.
Yeah, not the sexy things that that you like to see, but yeah, he worked pretty hard, but then he really came into it. But yeah, just you mentioned Ollie there. All the Ollies had good games tonight, as some of you were saying in the chat earlier. But I mean, we expect Ollie Dempsey to play pretty well most weeks these days. But yeah, the first goal that O. Henry kicked, where his buddy he cut off that hand pass and then just picked it up and slammed it through. That's the sort of stuff that 12 months ago, 2 years ago, he wasn't doing. He's just added that defensive work rate, get in amongst it, string, So even he wasn't, he wasn't, we weren't kicking it. I don't think we really kicked it to him that much or looked for him that much in the first half, but he was still, now he's finding ways to get into the play and sort of, work his, impose himself on the game without, having to take marks, and do the flashy stuff that that we tend to, that the way he was sort of doing things 2023, 2024, he's a lot of the goals he's getting now are work rate goals, so which is great to see. And we don't need, and we're getting 2 goals a game out of him. If we're getting that, and the way that he's getting them,
that's fantastic. It's a big win.
And the thing is, he will, we were talking about him a few weeks back in Discord, and I said, look, let me tell you something. If we win the flag this year, I'm telling you that Ollie Henry will have had a fair bit to do with it, because we haven't needed that little bit of X factor that he's got. We haven't needed that from him. So the fact that he's still, contributing a couple of goals, his usual couple of goals a game without having to do that sort of stuff, that's a nice ace to have up your sleeve.
And those defensive efforts on top of it.
And then, we've got after Ollie Wiltshire's game tonight, we've got a very nice little selection issue there, because we've got Tyson coming back in the 2s. Now, I would say
he's a month away.
I'd say he's 4 to 6 away at least. Just he's going to have to get his fitness up and get his touch back and all that, and then sort of show some form. I don't think it's reasonable to. I mean, I don't know what he's.
No, we don't need to rush him back in. No,
but I don't think. Look, I just think that people want to see him back in the team because we know what he's capable of and everything. But I think he's got to earn it. I think he's got to be made to earn it. I don't want to see him in 3 weeks back in the side when there's just no way he's going to be fully fit and match fit. And he hasn't played footy in nearly 12 months. So
give him the time, let him cook.
And and just obviously he's been let him get his head back in the game as well. I think is also important. So and then we've sort of had our discussions about Brad Close over the course of the year, but this is what you give Ollie Wiltshire a go because he deserved it. And he's
he's delivering.
He would he had an almost game next week last week because his teammates kept burning him. the amount of times he got burnt last week, I'm surprised it wasn't in the Alfred Hospital. Seriously, like it was a disgrace. Like I look, it's just I know sometimes like when you see, because I sort of saw it watching Herbie's first game for the Eagles in the waffle. So same thing happened to him. It's like you get you're a new guy or a young guy, inexperienced guy coming into a system, and you're coming from another system and you're running a certain way and you expect to get rewarded, but the other guys aren't looking for you because, you haven't kind of inserted yourself, imposed yourself or, sort of, you haven't got that experience there to sort of know, well, I've got to run where they want me to run, like, that sort of stuff. So,
Yeah, great.
But it didn't happen tonight, and when the one thing that he has, we started to see this in the VFL, and the one thing he did it last week, he's doing against North. If you're creating nice opportunities for your other forwards, they like you a lot more when you're doing that. So
yeah, agreed.
That's how you kind of, you work your way into the group and
And establish yourself.
Yeah, exactly. So, and I mean, we've all, I know, particularly with some of his performances, in the like he was dominating in the VFL early last year, and then he got a little taste, and he wasn't terrible, but sort of was a little bit off it. But like I say, but more, probably more a case of like, are you going to squeeze Tyson Stengel and Brad Close out of the side if they're not injured? And he probably wasn't quite there yet. But we always sort of, a lot of us sort of thought, look,
the potential's there.
Like, give this bloke, because some people talking about delisting, potentially delisting. It was like, no, we're not going to delist this bloke. He's on the cusp, and he will get his chance to shine sooner rather than later. And I think the talent's there to do that. So, I think most of the senior games that he's played this year, he's shown a bit. So, and
Agreed.
Tonight he was one of our best. So,
well, I might use that as a bit of a segue, especially with a bit of a green room that's kind of building up there. To get your 3-2-1s, I'm curious to see if Ollie potentially makes the cut with 3 goals straight. What's your 3-2-1 from the game today?
Ooh,
before we bring the boss in, who's currently got one of the whiteout towels sitting on his head.
I being on earlier, I haven't had enough time to really think about a 3-2-1, to be honest.
Oh well, I'm sure you'll be busy in the chat still for the rest of it, so that's fine. We can. I'll read out your 3-2-1 if you post it in the chat a little bit later on if you want.
But yeah, like I said, I just thought it was a really even performance by everybody tonight. I the guys, like Lawson, I thought Lawson played really well. Coming back from injury.
Yeah, he was fantastic.
SDK. Another great game. He looks like he's turned a corner to me. He's starting to look like a dominant defender and big man, and
ruckman, and just whatever we need him to be. He's starting to become Mark Blitzstars.
Yeah, well, that would be nice. I don't think he's got. I don't think he's.
He doesn't have the tag.
He doesn't have the running ability that Blitz has, but yeah, certainly his ability to work around the ground and stuff is
the jack of all trades thing. I think he's got. Like, he can go up forward and clunk the ball if he needs to. He's obviously proven himself as a defender. He's showing up as a ruckman now. But yeah, it's probably the athletic component that level of athleticism that he doesn't have. But
yeah, I mean, it's I just thought, I'm just really impressed with how he's kind of gone. We sort of wondered whether he had it in him. We know he could play well, but now that it's getting to that point in his career where he's got to be one of the young leaders of the side, whether he could really take that step to, start to really impose himself on games. And, even when we haven't, the last 2 or 3 weeks, even when we haven't won, he's played particularly well. So,
yeah, great.
There's probably a dozen other blokes. Max was good. Baz was good again. Danger, has sort of found a new lease on life since, we've started giving him those bursts in the midfield. So,
give me a gig, Geelong. I'll come over and be your coach. The expert comments in the corner. Just give me that pay packet, please.
Yeah, he looks recharged since they took your advice on that one. Yeah, and I thought Manor was coming, and I thought Sean Manor was good tonight as well. So
he was.
I probably forgot a couple, but I thought they were, they're the guys that I wanted to point out. But I'll chuck some votes in the chat.
Good. Looking forward to it then.
Yeah. So.
Well, thanks for coming on, mate. And obviously reminding everyone, Tush has I think disappeared now, but reminding everyone of the beautiful blinds in the background and sharing thoughts on the game, mate. It's always good to have you on board. Yeah,
we look forward to a big game next week, which will, I think, give us a pretty fair indication of where we're at.
Yeah. I mean, you can only shoot your shot against the best teams, and we're going to get that opportunity. So hopefully we can knock the Dockers off their perch.
Yeah, it'll be nice.
Well, thanks a lot, mate, and we'll chat soon.
No worries. Thanks for having me on.
Have a good one, mate.
All right, bye.
All right, let's bring in our next guest here, the boss. We'll get Ben Reeve in for a quick cameo because I know he only wants a pretty quick stint. Where are we? I do have a layout for Ben. There he is.
I'm the boss. I'm the boss.
Boss. All right, Lonely Island. Enough of that shit.
Chop my own dick off. Sorry, if you know, you know. What a win! I was on the drive home with Beck tonight. We're like,
after making a cameo on TV, I see.
Yeah, a couple of times actually.
I saw that on the Discord. Do you want me to bring up the Discord? Right,
I've got it here. I've already done.
You're already good to go.
Bang! There we are. We're good mates with the cameraman in front of us, and we always just give him the wink and the nod.
Yeah, well, if you were actually doing that, and if you were doing it properly, you would have had some Hoops Crew stuff to hold up at the same time. And plug us properly, you dumbass. No.
I should subscribe to the Hoops Crew. Hit that like button. And consider being a patron. I should put
hold a QR.
A QR code.
They won't put you on camera there because God knows where that QR is going to link you to.
Jeez, and don't you look terrible when you see yourself on camera? I'm sure I look like that all the time, but I want to do a bloody podcast, but it's different when you're on TV. No, but we drove home and we thought this isn't really one of those memorable games, really. Like we got the.
Sorry.
It's all right.
Flipped you back into the real layout.
That's fine. It wasn't one of those memorable games where you have a massive win or a close win, and we just kind of got the job done. And geez, Gold Coast are a shadow of what they were in the opening round.
Not even close.
Expected a little bit more of a fight from them. I did think we'd get the job done, and that it's 10 in a row against Gold Coast at GMHBA. I did flirt with the possibility of jinxing it again in the Discord earlier today.
You're a fool.
But this time it held true, and it's fine, and I'll do it again next year. So we do need a new thing. Days since Gold Coast have beaten Geelong at Geelong, which is actually never, Paul. So I'm sure you mentioned that last night.
No, we haven't discussed it tonight, but yeah, they are winless at GMHBA. But
I might take this off my head, looking a bit stupid.
Given that with all the, I mean, I saw it bandied about in the media recently. This whole idea of the AFL is going to maybe get its wish here with the NFL game that's coming to the MCG and it clashing with semi-final week. It's going to be great because Geelong's going to get to play. I'm like, you're just working on the assumption that we're going to get rolled in the first week of the finals and have to play a semi. We don't do that. We go off to a prelim and then lose it.
Yeah, we'll lose a prelim. Are you saying we're going to make another prelim this year?
I'm saying we're going to make another prelim this year.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm on the fence a little bit. I like to be
Oh, of
positive.
course, you're a half a step away from calling us a middling team
We're
after a
definitely not.
45-point win.
We're definitely not a middling. I don't know what a middling team is this year. You've got to be somewhere between
Uh,
8
Collingwood.
and 12. Well, Collingwood's a middling team. I'll tell you who a middling team is. Gold Coast are a middling team. Jesus Christ, they'll be lucky to make the top 10 now. St Kilda. If you had the Webster's
They're another
dictionary,
middling team, by the way.
if you had the Webster's dictionary, you'd see, and it looked up middling, you'd see St Kilda right smack bang there. Probably see Ross Lyon makes grand finals, but every now and then, but can't do anything. But look, whiteout. What is it? Whiteout round or white? What was it called? The bloody thing.
The whiteout game.
White round, whatever.
There's no round.
Round. Better.
We're the only team doing it.
White game. Better than last year. A little bit better.
Well, the W helps.
The W helps this year, so that's guaranteed a third year of dress ups.
Yeah, I think if we lost another one, there was only going to be two possible outcomes. Either that's it, it's dead, never happens again, or next year we're playing it when we're playing against an Eston. Like we bring Eston into GMHBA and then beat the stuffing out of them just to go, yeah, okay, this is why we do this.
Exactly. I can see you've always got the white headphones, but what's with the powder blue? What's happening with the baby blue? The baby blue. It looks blue at my end. What you're wearing?
The jumper? No, it's probably just a little bit of the light bouncing off a few different things. No, that's white.
Okay. Oh, there you go. All right. Apologies. I've got two white t-shirts.
I think it's a bit of the blue light coming off the screen that's kind of doing that.
There you go. So no, look, the club is doing a little bit better. The DJ in the middle of the ground before the game started was good. Kids got into that. It was a little bit weird. There was about 50 cheerleaders on the ground, which was a bit odd.
I did see some of that footage beforehand.
Yeah, just young, very, very young, and I felt really uncomfortable about it. I thought we'd moved on from cheerleaders. But anyway, I'm sure some people liked it, but I thought it was a bit awkward. But anyway, so maybe drop that part. I don't think we need little kids dancing around, doing all that sort of stuff. But mate, I was pumped when I heard the news an hour before the bounce that our boy Justice was going to be served. Boy George was coming in. Tom King from K-Rock hinting a little bit, must have been hinting that if you see a little bit of traffic on the way from Warrnambool, it may be something to do with George Stevens. So that got me perked up a little bit.
That did set the cat amongst the pigeons, and there was a lot of activity in the Discord very quickly off the back of that one, and on Twitter.
Correct. And it was nice to see that confirmed when we got to the ground. Shame for Bose because he didn't get really 150th acknowledgement last week, did he? Against where we play last week, Adelaide. So I thought he might get I thought he might get his 150th in this one, but no, he sort of did a bit of a fitness test and didn't make it up and didn't pass it. So obviously have a bit of a rest and hopefully good enough to either come in next week against Freo or maybe just back to the VFL for a little bit. So that was good. But what did you think of Georgie's game? I thought he was okay. Better than game number 2. Better than game number 2 because he was terrible against GWS, I think it was.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, you're right. It was the Giants. He bashed up on the Tigers. Should have gotten his Rising Star nomination. Got screwed. Got his Brownlow votes though, and then stunk it up against the Giants the next week. Look, yeah, I think he was pretty solid tonight. Took a little while to work into it. I think Harash and I were chatting about him earlier on. Worked his way into the game as the game progressed. There was that one kind of butchered kick pretty early on in the piece, but then otherwise. He was clean. He was efficient. Good handballing game. Great at the contest, and did it all from I think it was about 60-ish% of game time from what I saw.
Yeah,
so
he was coming off a lot. That's for sure.
So I think that's fine. And the fact that I think like one of the big concerns I think for a lot of us within the community was when he got delisted with the promise of being picked up on the rookie list, but by finding himself on the rookie list, there was that bit of worry like okay. How much longer do we have here? But the fact that he, found himself on the emergencies list, but then ultimately actually made the 23 ahead of someone who's perfectly fit and able, and there'd been some calls out to see Warple come back. The fact that he got the gig ahead of him, the fact that he got the gig ahead of Brian Myers, who was being managed but was there and available. was a good sign. In terms of his long-term future, it was good to see that he got that opportunity, got out there and did some good things with that time. Because I think it would be a big loss for the Cats in terms of the longer term if we lost George Stevens. So
yeah, I feel like it'd be a waste if we didn't actually see what we've got, and I think we need to see, like we gave plenty of opportunities to Oisin Mullen. And look, maybe this isn't the year for George, but hopefully we hang on to him for another year. Hopefully he gets another 4 or 5 games this year if we can make it happen. If we get into a position where we start to steal some wins, I guess, because we're going to need to. We're going through the gauntlet in the next few weeks. If we can get some wins and we sort of set ourselves up, because we've got a bit of a cruisy run home.
Richmond, Essendon, and North in the last 3.
So if we can get some more games into George, I don't know if he'll be. We'll see finals George, but
no, probably not.
But anyway, look, what did you think about his kick to handball ratio? 2 kicks and 9 handballs. I mean, I probably
it's about expected.
Yeah, I probably expected something like 4 and 5 or something like that, but or 5 and 6. But anyway, he's more of a handball kind of guy. Moving it on,
he's that one at the bottom of the contest that gets the ball and reefs it out to someone. I don't mind that facet of his game, and I think when he did that on a few occasions, he managed to chain it out to your Max Holmeses and your Bailey Smiths and did a pretty good job in that respect.
Exactly.
So,
yep.
While having blokes hanging off him, so it was good.
Yeah. What are you thinking about, and I'm asking you a lot of questions here, but are you liking Ollie Wiltshire in the side? And let me put it to you, do you think Geelong looks better? Do you think the system functions a little bit better with him or Brad Close? I mean, maybe they're not exactly the same player, but...
Yeah, they're not playing the same role, but I think in terms of, I guess, a potent forward line, which is what we're looking for, I think I'd rather Ollie Wiltshire.
And a bit of speed on the wings at times as well. Ollie's not perfect. There was times today where it's like, oh, mate, you didn't really have it. But then he did some great things as well. And it just felt like a bit of I wouldn't call it a statement game, but a little bit of a breakout game. A little bit of, he'll go away from this feeling.
He kicked 3 goals in his career before tonight. He kicked 3 tonight. So he's doubled his tally. He's going to double his tally next week. You watch. He's going to kick 6.
Exactly. So he didn't have 20 touches and 3 goals or anything like that, and didn't dominate like an Ollie Dempsey would dominate a game. But he should walk into those change rooms feeling absolutely fantastic and feeling really confident of holding his spot for another 2 or 3 weeks at least.
He took his opportunities. I think the one thing that he probably needs to work on with his game, he found himself paired up with John Noble a bit tonight. Now John Noble had 30.
Yeah. Okay.
So I think and he's a bit of an accumulator, so I'm not going to say that if Brad Close was on him that he would have just shut him out of the game. But I don't think John Noble would have had 30 if Brad Close was the one paired up against him.
Was it a damaging Was it damaging, the 30? Some 30 can...
he had 30, 22 kicks, 593 metres gained. So, he did some pretty solid things. I'll have to check the score involvements and those sort of things. But... and I'll quickly try and check.
Well, we know a Bailey 35 touch game isn't always a 3-vote game as well. So, mate, and sometimes teams will just let a player off the leash because they know
1 score involved and 2 intercept possessions. So, nothing necessarily the most damaging, but he was effective. He did kind of bring the ball to ground and was that kind of first step in the chain out of defense for the Suns at different points. I guess the thing I'd be looking for, and I don't expect him to go and dominate games at this point in time.
No.
But I think the next step is because he's been proving the VFL today. He comes out there and puts in that big performance where he hits the scoreboard and okay, your offensive aspects of your game, you're now transferring those to the top level. That's great, awesome. Let's keep that up. But we need to work on your ability to shut out your opponent because there's so much of this game these days, which is, turn the ball over and then surge from the half back line. And I think he needs to now work on the way that he can influence the game defensively in that scenario.
It's a great point.
And I think it's just the next natural part of his development. So I don't have any, It's not a criticism of him anyway. I think it's just something that's going to take a bit of time. And as he continues to feel more comfortable at the level, that's a part of his game that needs some work.
And like pretty much every team sport, really, unless you've got a defensive unit and an offensive unit, generally you're going both ways. And what catches the eye a lot more, obviously, especially when you're watching your team with Geelong goggles on. I know I do this all the time. I'm noticing when we've got the ball and we're disposing and kicking of the ball, but it's It's harder to sort of judge a player on their defensive elements of their game. So you're probably right about Ollie. That's probably an area of his game that he could work on over the next 18 months or so. I think he's definitely got a spot on this list next year. I'd be shocked. I mean, it wouldn't be the first time.
No doubt about that. No, I'm really confident in that.
It wouldn't be the first time we've got rid of a player that we all thought was coming along just nicely, but Corey Gregson was one that I thought, Corey Gregson will go. It's just going way back now, but
but I remember him.
Yeah, I was like, he's all right. What did we get rid of him for? But anyway, maybe the club saw something. Maybe they didn't see enough. So anyway, yeah, Brad Close. Someone I think big fella's saying he's a shadow. So Shad Close, Shadow Close. I think Brad will find it again. He'll just find it next year. He's just kind of lost his way a little bit in the first half of this year, and I feel like. As long as we've got the young guys, you've got to reward the young guys, don't you, Paul? There's plenty of
give them their opportunities.
There's guys going really well in the VFL, and it sounds like Chris and the coaches are starting to acknowledge that and give them their opportunities. So obviously, Warple's probably feeling like.
And there we go. Amy's just reminded all of us that Ollie Wiltshire re-signed earlier.
Oh, thanks, Amy. Yeah, good on you, Amy. So happy with him. Tom Atkins is back, Paul. He is back as a tackling machine. I've been a little bit harsh on Tommy lately, but geez,
he's been on your watch list. He
still tries to drive his legs through and he just can't.
He's not that. He doesn't have that figure.
No.
Like if George Stevens made that play, he'd be successful.
George would be like, get the fuck off me.
He'd be just
swatting them like flies. Yeah. Whereas Tom's like, he's all heart. Like he's all heart. Like I'm so glad we got to see him win a premiership, but I'd love it to see him win another one. I'd probably have a lot more appreciation for him now because he just really bobbed up in 2022.
But 8 tackles and 6 clearances and 6 clearances for Axe tonight. So it was a nice step in the right direction. He's still had some fluctuation in the last month and a half or so, but I feel like there's been a general improvement in his game over the last 4 to 5 to 6 weeks.
Yeah, no, it's definitely seeing some good signs there. Couple more things, and because I won't hang on because I know you got a couple in the chat. But good to see Max Holmes continuing to play quite well. It wasn't his best ever game, but he'll probably poll votes tonight. I think. I think maybe Ollie gets
31 and 804 meters.
Yeah,
plus that big booming goal.
Exactly.
It catches the eye of the umpires for sure.
Definitely. And they're very aware of him after 14 weeks of footy. So you'd think the umpires are going to... Who should we give votes to? Oh, here's one. So he's looking to more and more to me like he could go top 5 Brownlow. I don't think he'll win it, but he's going to be taking votes. Him and Bailey are going to be taking votes off each other. That's Captain Obvious. And that often happens when you've got a pretty strong midfield. It's just how deep is Geelong's midfield? I know Max
is doing so much of his work though off half back. Like
he is, right? He
can roll through the midfield, but he's doing so much of his work coming off half back and just taking off.
Yeah. Did we manage? Did we cover for Tom's? I mean, at the game, it's obviously different when you're watching on the telly and you get all the angles and the slow mos and the everything else. But how did we manage the defensive side of things today without Stewart? Was there a loose, or did we just go man on man?
No, that first quarter was definitely a problem. But I think it was kind of a structural thing. And I think Tom Stewart would have definitely helped in that scenario because he would have been able to kind of coordinate Marshall, and whether he was the one intercepting the ball or not kind of remains to be seen. It won't be seen, but it's kind of one of those unknowns. Like he's pretty good at reading the play and kind of injecting himself into it if he needs to, but he would have done a better job of kind of coordinating everyone around him. But then like the whole team structure kind of shifted in that second term, and it kind of forced them into longer, slower plays, and kind of not dump kicks, but just long distance launches inside 50. So then at that point, look, in a normal game, sometimes Tom Stewart gets on the end of those, but sometimes it's Zach Guthrie, sometimes it's Sully, sometimes it's SDK. It doesn't, like, you can kind of raffle it at that point. Absolutely, Tom Stewart would have helped, but plenty of others stepped up in his stead in that scenario. He would have been important in that first quarter when things weren't going our way for a while. But after that, he would have helped. But I'm No great harm in the end.
Yeah, okay.
Especially to come away with the 45-point win. So
we seem to manage their smalls pretty well. They I didn't really feel like they had
which
much.
was my big worry going into the game.
It
Though
was.
you're right.
I was going to say,
Humphrey cut us to ribbons back in round 0. Did nothing really tonight. Track got on the end of 1 or 2, but
Track was.
But he had to go forward to do that.
Speaking of shadows, bloody hell! What's happened to Track?
He's been pretty great for a while. It's just
but tonight though, like
he got mullened.
Yeah. I can't wait to see the bath photo tomorrow morning of Mullen giving
if it
the tracker a bath. get the bubbles out, get the sponge. Look, Matt Rowe's probably not coming to Geelong in the next year or two because we were in Bay A27 we were giving him a little bit of shit tonight. So apologies, Geelong supporters, if you're hoping to get Matt Rowe. I feel like we've probably turned him against Geelong supporters tonight. Every chance we got, we were getting stuck into him because he'd do up and down the sideline a little bit, and we were just saying, "This is how we do it in Geelong, mate. You should have come when you had the chance." And then just every people we're saying dumb shit too, like, "Oh, my cow eats better grass than you." I didn't say that, but someone else said that. That's fucking terrible.
That's
anyway, that's shocking. No, so he's not too happy with us. I could tell he's a little bit grumpy. Just we'll have to focus on Butters and some other players, maybe. I don't know. I'm sure we'll figure it out. I'm sure we'll find someone. Recruitment team has it. But yeah, good game though. Good game. Not one of the ones.
Is that what I heard?
What's that?
Did I hear you say the cricket team? I must have misheard you then. That's all right.
Maybe I said I don't know what I say half the
time.
I
don't know what I heard, but it was just weirdly timely. Maybe I was just hearing things because I just spotted on Twitter that Kane Williamson's retired from international cricket.
Oh, okay.
Kiwi gun.
That fucking umpire, Nathan Williamson.
Sorry, yeah, sure. That's unrelated. That's the relation. Yeah.
Unrelated, but we don't like that guy. There's a few of them we don't like. The bald bastard as well, who didn't give the Jeremy Cameron goal in Sydney all those years ago. My final thoughts. We're off to Fremantle. Is that a Saturday game, Paul, or is that another Friday game?
No, it's Thursday night next week.
Bullshit. We got a 7. Oh, okay, so they've got a. Oh, my voice went really high there.
Are they coming off a bye?
They're coming off a bye. We've got to travel to Perth.
So that was a
6-day break.
They are.
Yeah, they've got a bye this week.
Yeah, the bye this week. Yep.
That is bullshit. Is the AFL trying to screw us again? Anyway,
this is what we've been talking about for a while. Not even necessarily Geelong focused, but just the fixturing is just a disaster this year.
It's bullshit. I mean, you said it at the start of the year. It's one of the worst fucking fixtures we've ever seen. So, anyway, it is what it is.
But then we get our bye after that. So if we can just get ourselves up one more time. Ethan's just said in the chat there, come off the bye, but 99% chance that we manage Danger.
Yeah.
I reckon we'll, given that we've got one more game and then a break, I reckon they'll try. If Danger's feeling it, I reckon they'll try and get him through one more.
Okay, I hope so. But anyway,
Ambient Lounge Australia just popped in saying we will get Darcy Wilson. That'll be in relation to the players that we were talking about before.
Do you know what? I was pushing the lawnmower around this afternoon, and I was thinking of you, Paul, because I don't always think about you when I mow my lawn. But I was listening back to the Paul James show.
Other times, unfortunately.
I was listening to the Paul James show on because I didn't follow it all last night, and you were talking about going to the Saints and Giants game. So you've got a project tomorrow on Sunday, I think, Paul. we want you to just keep a watch on
Darcy Wilson watch.
Darcy Wilson the whole day, and please provide a report. The next time we come around to the Paul James show we have to talk about when we're going to do it, but
I've got an early basketball game coming up this week, so we could probably do it. We could probably do it on the Wednesday, and then I can
nice. All right,
I'll have the game, and then I'll come and do the show after that.
Okay, 8:10. It's going to be a late post game live on Thursday night. Jeez, I might have to help you out, maybe. I don't know. We'll talk about it.
We'll be okay. We'll be okay. I've already taken a look at my work fixture. It's going to work out very nicely. I have a report writing day the next day, and if I can get all my shit together beforehand, then I am just going to base myself at home, specifically out of my bed for the Friday.
Kids,
not have to work, which would be good.
Kids, you better hope that the Cats win. Paul's doing his report writing the day after, so you better hope
and knackered, if we've just come from a post-game therapy session, then the reporting could be diabolical the next day. My hope is to have it all done beforehand so that Friday is actually just a day off. Apparently, I I've found out that I don't need to be on site if I've already finished the reporting. So,
good.
well,
all right.
I'm excited
I'll
for
let
that
you go.
prospect.
I'll jump out. Thanks for the chat, Paul. Another good for Cats win. Hopefully, I know you've got a couple of people in the green room.
Yeah, I can see Ethan and Ben there.
Yep.
I might see if those two are happy to work out between them who wants to jump in next. I know Ethan's obviously got time zones. I don't know what time it is there.
Do a rock off in the green room.
If we can get the green room going, we'll count them in 3, 2, 1 and see what happens. In fact, hang on, let's give this a proper crack. If neither of you are like, yeah, okay, Ethan's got the fist up, he's ready to go. We're doing this behind the scenes. Everyone, this is just the honor system here. Ben and I can both be judged.
All right, there's two of us here. We'll judge it.
So we'll go 3, 2, 1, and then just go. So 3, 2, 1, go.
Rocks.
Ethan's got the rock. Ben's got the scissors. Best
Ethan
of 3.
wins.
Best
Ethan,
of 3.
No.
Ethan's shaking his head. That's right. All right, he's claiming his win. All right, get out of
here.
Go
Cats. Enjoy the night, everyone. Take care.
Mate. All right, let's bring Ethan in then. We'll get that layout up and running. The victor of rock, paper, scissors. Welcome aboard, mate. Oh, no. We've got no audio with you.
There we go.
There we go.
Okay, good.
After we lost rock, paper, scissors, I figured Ben had just gone and sabotaged your audio. He's nodding away in the background.
If you can't tell, I am in a different location this week.
Yeah,
we're actually in a different time zone entirely. I'm in a hotel in Georgia. I'm in the Eastern time zone.
What's that? Is that about how many hours out of whack are you then?
3, so it's 9:47 a.m. here. So this game started at like 5:40 a.m. instead of my usual 2:40.
Right.
But
does that work out better or worse for you with the
worse,
time
I'd
zone
say,
difference?
Because I like the when it's like a 2:30, 2:40, or I guess this coming one would be like 3:10. You can kind of I stay up, power through, go right into it, and then after sleep. Because I'm not a morning person. If you're a morning person, Eastern time zone works for this. But God, if we could pull off next week. First off, we're playing with house money. This was the must win. We got it done.
Especially after those unfortunate losses the last few weeks. We need to get this one back.
I'm going straight from post-game. I'm going to try to jump on post-game right away next week.
All right. I'll make sure I've got you blocked out as our first person.
And then immediately I'm going to the reason I'm on the East Coast in general is because I'm going to be going to the Czechia South Africa game in Atlanta.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah, so I'm not seeing Australia play at Levi's, and looks like they've got their facility set up in Oakland right now. They're actually people are having a laugh because they're playing at the Oakland Roots facility, and the double meeting there is pretty great. But
yeah, right. Okay. Be interested to get your take on it all.
But just the cultural exchange so far from the World Cup stuff. I don't know if you've seen like the German dudes falling in love with the South and barbecue and our gas stations and stuff. It's been phenomenal.
No, I'll admit I've really not been following it at all for the most part. Like I'm not really a soccer guy.
The couple of Twitter follows that are worth your time. There's a German dude named Fiado, and there's a German dude named Freddie. I think it's Freddie LA7, who's had like governors of multiple states posting messages welcoming him. He's doing like the rural America road trip, and he's nailing it. Like eating barbecue in the middle of the night. I'm doing a bit of a scroll now.
Yeah, I can see the most recent one from about 7 hours ago. Waffle House in New Orleans.
Yep, it's perfect. Although I will say, if you go to a Waffle House that doesn't let you eat in there, run. Not because of the food, it's the neighborhood. But he seems to have survived that. Anyway, this was, because of our last couple weeks, a must win. And we got the job done. I thought our game plan, and Horatio talked about this, our game plan seemed like it was kind of this was the optimal version of what was supposed to happen when we played them up there, where like for a lot of the first half we sat back, we let them control all the uncontested play, and it's like, all right, we're gonna wait for you to make a mistake. We're not gonna give you a big opportunity here. We're just going to let you kick it around and then get in your own way because, yeah, you've got a couple of A-listers in the middle and all, but you don't have the depth of the list that we have. And I think we really exposed that.
Yeah, I guess that was topic of conversation before.
So I think some of that was by design, and then it was like, let them run out of steam, and then we can run out the game better than them. And I mean, that third quarter could have been really lopsided. We kicked, what was it, like 3-8 for that quarter, or 2-8 or something
ridiculous like that. Yeah, there was a lot of scoring shots.
Yeah, 2-8. We could have really poured it on. This
shout out to Telstra Man who's popped up and usually causes all sorts of chaos in the chat, but so far nice and restrained. Thank you, Telstra Man.
But this is kind of like,
and Lucas who's popped in as well.
Mm-hmm. This reminded me of, like the Simpsons thing, welcome to Springfield where nobody sucks except for Flanders. Like, nobody sucked for us.
Wait, so Van, who was our Flanders then?
I think Jack Martin was our worst, and he wasn't even
even bad. Yeah.
Zach Guthrie by player rating was a little, but I actually really liked his game. This was a victory for patience over knee-jerk reactions. Like, everyone who struggled last week, I thought Zach Guthrie was actually really sharp. Tanner Brune's 2 best games this year have both been against the Suns. He was rock solid tonight. His delivery was good.
Yeah, he only had 11 possessions, but all 11. I'm going to double check the disposal efficiency on him, but the eye test, like his disposal efficiency, he operated at 81.8 tonight. So
0 turnovers, most importantly.
Yeah, so I was really happy with just the eye test, and I'm glad that the data kind of backs that up.
The Suns are just. I've got a lot of questions about them. I mean, for as much as those top names in the midfield jump off the charts, still, we beat them by 11 at clearance. They've been having these issues. This isn't independent to us. They've been, I think,
long
by clearance, they've been the worst team in the whole league, which is wild with how
given the individuals they've got there.
Yeah.
And I think the most damning one when we think about this particular pairing of teams is actually, like, I know obviously we're talking about the rock stars that they've got through the middle, but the stoppage clearance, like that it's been a bugbear of mine for a while that we've been winning at the center clearance and been getting smoked at the stoppage clearance most weeks. And I've been trying to work out, like, what is it that we're not doing structurally to allow us to thrive in that particular part of the ground as well, part of the game, as well. But tonight we won the center clearance by 1, but won the stoppage clearances by 10. So.
Yeah, I thought we exposed some of their weaknesses really well, like letting Noble rack up possessions, but then putting pressure on him and forcing him to make a quality disposal, which, like, he's not the cleanest. And we turned.
I thought he was pretty solid in that respect. There was a few that, I think there was a few that were particularly high quality ones, but then there were some others where he got the ball, got himself into a difficult situation, and just took the easy out.
30 disposals, 1 score involvement, 2 intercepts. Yeah. So I think we picked the right guy to just let him kind of run around. The one that worried me was Bailey Humphrey, and he was a problem early and then kind of faded.
Yep.
And then we really took advantage with their defense. Like, we kicked a few that Collins and Andrew got us on.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Hold on. Sorry, 1 second.
No, all good.
But then like Adams, we did a great job. He had like 1 really high skill intercept, but other than that, he gave away that really dumb free to Danger where he had, it was a 1-on-2. And he held Danger's jumper for no reason. And we victimized him in some good spots. And I think we did a good job on Ballard, and we didn't let their other kind of inexperienced guys like Jepson or Murray do anything.
Yeah, we didn't let them
get their player for the Suns. Like, King had his 3, but he missed a couple he normally gets. Speaking of King, I thought
Sully did a pretty good job.
Sully was behind the 8 ball early and then really stepped it up.
But I even
he
think
got better as the game went on.
I would agree with that, but I think even obviously King got that first shot on goal for the game out on the full, got a goal a few minutes later. I feel like a couple of those early opportunities came from that structural thing with Geelong, and like we weren't setting ourselves up well, which then didn't allow him to body up Ben King and actually bring the ball to ground.
And then
They
after
were
that, we
uncontested
did
marks
such a
that they were
good
taking
job.
inside
We didn't
50.
get burned on counterattacks.
Yeah.
I actually thought, though, I know Ravel had his moments and is a contested machine, and I know Anderson had his share. It was kind of hard to separate those two. I actually thought the most consistent player for the Suns was Sam Closey, and he gets my nod for the polished turd this week. Yeah, I thought he was actually pretty sharp, and I like him. But just our consistency throughout, I mean, it's really hard to find a weakness in our game tonight. We did such a good job making up for Tom Stewart's absence in the aggregate. That was, I wasn't all that worried when we saw he was out. I was more concerned, like, just for him, because he's had his share of health issues. But we combined, the one-on-ones between Blitzovs, DeKoning, and I guess O'Sullivan. We handled that. And then for movement out of the defensive 50, we had Max take a bunch of the kick-ins, and Lawson was very valuable in that area as well. And I think also having Blitzovs mostly stay in the defensive 50.
It was good to see it.
Really allowed him to kind of...
Love Blitz, the defender.
Yeah, allowed him to rest a little more, because last couple of weeks he's looked a little bit more...
His age has started to show.
I would have managed him for this week had Stewart been healthy.
Yep.
But everyone who struggled last week, Brune was good. Zach Guthrie was good. Shannon Neal, what a bounce back performance from him. Getting on leads, flushing set shots, creating havoc in contests.
Yeah, that was Shannon Neal back to, I won't say his best, but heading back in the right direction again.
There was confidence from all of our forwards, and it was a really balanced performance. And I'm very curious to see, like, what are the coaches' votes going to look like from this one? Because I think
Dimmer being the sort of person he is, he'll start listing umpires.
Also, that was rich. Like, I will admit, Jezza got paid one, like, Curnow level free kick. The front on contact one late in the second quarter. I'll gladly take it. That was pretty bad.
But that just balances out the Ollie Dempsey mark that should have been paid that wasn't. So
the difference, the double standard for holding the ball. At best, umpiring probably ended up 50-50 tonight.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty balanced. It was equally.
It wasn't
bad.
Especially good. Nathan Williamson is pretty far down my rankings of umpires, but I don't think it affected the game, and that's pretty rich from Dimma when the fact is his team's getting their ass kicked to clearance despite having all the talent in the world in the midfield.
Yeah, don't be blaming umpires for the fact that you can't get your hands on the ball. Oh, sorry, they did have their hands on the ball. They dominated disposal, but they did nothing with it.
I think we were content with letting them handle the uncontested play. That was definitely by design.
Yeah, no, I agree with that.
And outside of a couple of early goals, I mean, how many times did they ever have a man deep that was unattended? It hardly happened. So that
we fixed that very quickly.
I think it might have been kind of a concession from us, like looking at this one saying, all right, if we try to go at on full throttle, more likely than not, they have the manpower to beat us there. So let's sit back, rely on our structure and discipline, and make them take risks. And I think that worked out.
It worked a treat. Make him play a really patient game when they probably don't have the capacity to play that patient game.
Yeah, I mean, who for the Suns is going to be the patient, composed guy there? Like, I guess Euland, who actually by player ratings ended up as the highest rated. We have nobody even rated above 15.
Sorry, are you talking about Bodie?
Bodie, yeah, sorry. I did what the broadcasters do when they never differentiate. But
yeah,
nobody for us ranked above even a 15, which is very, very rare on a winning side.
It's just the team effort thing, right? That's it further reflects the stereotypical it was a team effort.
It seriously was. And I thought we got better at the coalface as the game went on, especially Atkins and Danger, who really lifted there. I thought this was one of the best games Danger's played all year.
Yeah.
And again, I feel like 99% chance he came into tonight knowing he's taking next week off. I'd be shocked if he makes the trip. And I hope, look, I'm going into that game with minimal expectations, and yet I have this feeling in the back of my mind, like, even with them coming off a bye, maybe we match up all right there.
These are the sorts of games that Geelong licks their lips at. Like they love themselves a free swing at the. Oh, it's not
we
a
get
free
to play
swing.
with no pressure because we won this
yeah.
one. Had we not delivered tonight, then there would have been pressure. And frankly,
we'll still go in as the underdog regardless. So
yeah, as we should. Frio's a pretty complete team. But at this, we had pressure on us tonight. And I think outside of maybe the first 20-ish minutes, we really showed that at all. We played confident and composed. And again, it was the team with more experience just sitting there and kind of daring the less experienced side to counter us. And they really couldn't find that. I mean, how many times did they poke a hole in anything we were doing? I think of one really, really high-level assist by Petrarca in the fourth quarter after the game was decided.
Yeah, the game was already done.
That was a terrific kick, by the way. That might be, we do an assist of the week, and that was really nice. But it meant nothing because we were so locked in. And again, this was a victory for patience and composure over knee-jerk reactions, and the value of the whole being greater than the sum of the parts. And, if you think a chain is only as strong as its weakest link, well, they've got some very strong links, but they've got some very, very weak ones right now, too. The Suns confused me, honestly. Like, you mentioned Alex Davies. Like, he did nothing that even merited getting dropped. Then they drop him, and
he doesn't seem to be one of Dimmer's favorites. He doesn't seem to be someone that Dimmer rates.
He's actually been really good contested lately, so that one confuses me.
I would agree, yeah.
It's got to be frustrating if you're a Suns fan.
Before, and I was looking at that list of theirs, and I go, okay, like their top end is brilliant. As you said, lots of strong links, but they're weak links. They've got a lot more of them. They're just not a deep squad yet.
And I think obviously the possession and game style had something to do with it. But when you look at pressure acts, outside of Rowell and Anderson, nobody came close to cracking 20 for them. In fact, next was Lombard at 17. Past that, nobody else even had more than 13. Yeah,
right.
Rowell and Anderson, as good as they are, they can't do it by themselves, and they shouldn't have to. They've got a lot to figure out.
For some reason, when I'm looking at the AFL website at the moment, I click on pressure acts and nothing's appearing. I don't know why that's the case.
I've got it up right now. Atkins leading the way
with the board.
Atkins leading the way, no surprise. I thought, like I said, Atkins was great tonight. I've been going back and forth on some votes. I think, again, the coaches' votes might be weird tonight. Like, you might see, I don't know, like nobody with more than 7. I love those. I love seeing the coaches' votes each week and the distribution of them. A super nerdy thing. But it's fun. But 3-2-1, first off, honorable mentions. Sam DeConing, who's been on a great run lately. Ollie Wiltshire gets an honorable mention, and Zach Guthrie gets an honorable mention. But I will give my 1 to Ollie Dempsey, my 2 to Patrick Dangerfield, my 3 to Tom Atkins, who really just kind of dug his heels in physically, set the tone, and made his impact on this game, and got better as the game went on. It was kind of like, remember Big Picture? I think this game kind of represented the Suns in a microcosm where, like, even after we got our asses handed to us round 1 and could complain about a lack of preparation and lack of intensity, it was like, all right, these guys are gonna run out of steam at some point.
And they seem to have already done it.
Yeah. Maybe they catch a second win. I hope they beat Hawthorn next
Have
week.
did they have the bye last week?
No, I think they have the same
No,
bye as
they're
us.
still to come.
Or no, yeah, they did have a bye. Yeah. Sorry, they did have a bye. I think they had it.
Oh, so another scenario.
They
just
had
like
the very first set of buys.
Just
Yeah.
like, oh yeah, actually, yeah, they've already 2 weeks ago.
It was like them, North, and the 2 Adelaide teams.
Port and
Yeah.
Adelaide, yep. Interesting.
But
oh, that's right,
like,
of course, because
I hope they catch
they
second
played
win
and
against
lost
Hawthorn.
Brisbane last week.
I'm interested in their game against Freo, but we said like back in opening round, they came out all fired up and ready to go, and we were sitting back. And while I didn't like our lack of preparation at the time, we knew that things would settle. And I think tonight spoke volumes to that.
Yeah.
Also, maybe my favorite moment tonight, Zach Guthrie, when he had the smother on, I think it was Lombard in the goal square.
Oh, yes.
And then tipped the Zeke Ulan kick. That should have gotten a standing ovation. That was so good.
There was some great effort. I mean, obviously, there's those. There was the way he remained poised and took that mark even when he'd slipped over.
That was incredible
in the first quarter. That was unreal. Like he was on tonight. And I think we needed him to be in lieu of Tom Stewart being out. But he did some really great things.
And we made up Stewart's absence in the aggregate. And that's like, I wasn't that worried about having the guys to fill that gap. But it was especially rewarding to see like everyone who had to pull a little bit of extra weight, whether it was in kicks out of the defensive 50 or in one-on-one battles, to have all of those guys have a couple of individual moments was very cool. And I think it's a testament to our coaching and our versatility. I mean, we've got a lot of guys that we can shuffle around as needed.
Yeah. No, there's lots of really good signs, despite obviously, coming off a couple losses. There was some really great signs tonight. And there have been, holistically over a 7-week block now. So
the Crows looking so good yesterday definitely helped with confidence a bit for me.
Yeah.
Is that dumb?
They seem to be coming good and kind of starting to peak again at the right time as if you're an Adelaide fan.
I still think we did more to lose that game than they did to win it.
Yes.
But it just kind of reinforced like this was a major prove it week for us. And we proved it.
Yeah, agreed.
I will pass the torch to whoever's in the waiting rooms.
Yeah, we've got Ben, the loser of that rock paper scissors,
awesome,
with you to come in next, and then Kiri's there, absolutely living his best life right now, glasses on. Awesome. Looking forward to bring that energy coming in shortly.
And I don't think anyone's entering next week with high expectations, but if we could pull it off, and I go from that straight to a World Cup game, could be like an all-time legendary celebration day.
Looking forward to the updates then, especially if we can go and pocket ourselves a win on Thursday night.
Could be pretty good. All right. And for anyone who's been following like the foreigners that have been coming here for the World Cup, if you come to America, when you come, don't just check out our major cities. We have a very good highway system and some great smaller towns. Our college towns are terrific. Come see more than just the major city, and you'll get a real taste for what this place is all about. Again, the German dudes have been awesome, and they've kind of become like overnight heroes. The cultural exchange has been great. There was a Swedish girl who was fascinated by our condiments, so it's been really good. Come through, be happy to point you in the right direction, and go Cats.
And maybe don't go anywhere near New York if the Knicks get one more win, because that could get real dangerous.
Yeah.
Shout out though to the guy who threw the cone in the air and it landed straight on that bloke's head. Hilarious stuff. That worked out perfectly.
It's the summer of cones. The Pittsburgh Pirates, every time they hit a home run,
always
they have
a summer of cones over there, right?
It's cones, and in Pittsburgh, it's also parking chairs.
Yeah, right. I haven't seen any clips around that. I might have to, but
Go Canes.
Shout out to
One more
Cone Guy. That was awesome.
Yes. And here, my washcloth. This will double as my towel.
There we go. Nicely done. I should have asked everyone to have
up.
some sort of white towel ready, whether he went to the
Raise
game or
up.
not. But...
Big win. Had to have that one.
Well, looking forward to talking again next week. Like I said, win, lose or draw. It could be a big 24-hour block for you with the combination of events. So looking forward to chatting in, I guess, 6 days from now. No, what are we now?
Yep.
It's early Saturday morning over here. Chat to you in 5 days.
Yeah, it's Friday morning here. About to go explore more of Georgia, a little Alabama, and Tennessee all today. A lot of driving
Enjoy it,
ahead.
mate.
Appreciate it. See you
Thanks
soon.
for coming on board. We'll chat soon.
Big win. Go Cats.
All right. Let me find the layout for Ben. There we go. Ben Reeves made it. The loser of Rock, Paper, Scissors, Ben Harris. It's not as good as the next Mitch Cleary, but anyway, how's things, mate?
Paul, I can't.
Oh no, audio problems.
I'll jump out real quick, then I'll jump back in.
No, that's all right. We'll give it another crack. In the meantime, while we wait for that, no, Kiri, don't get too carried away. We'll let Ben go. But Ben Reeve did shoot me a message earlier, linked me to something on Instagram. It might come from Lockie Miller. It might be a video of Catman. And it's worthwhile. I think it's all kicking back and enjoying the show. So while we wait for Ben to come back, let's...
Shit. What the fuck? Whiteout Catman's crazy. Whiteout Catman is mental.
Let's go that again. Catman's trying to climb trees. I don't understand
Catman's
what he's
lost
got.
his shit. What the fuck? Whiteout Catman's crazy. Whiteout Catman is mental.
Anyway, there's that one. Oh, it's still playing in my ears. Pause. All right, looks like Ben is back. Let's try that one again. How are we going this time?
Yeah, good. I can hear you now.
Good.
So, yeah, you go.
So in the meantime, yeah, I've just been showing off Catman clips. But let's get back to the game itself. What did you make from today? Or make of today, I should say.
Yeah, like what a few people have said, not like a memorable performance or anything. A bit of really good margin though. 45 points in the end.
It is good, yeah. Nice percentage booster.
Oh yeah, definitely against the Suns. We won't spend too much time like talking about Gold Coast, but like someone like Bailey Humphrey who like dominated against us round one. Like, is he really worth like what they're saying? Like 5 first-round draft picks. Like, I actually really like him. Like the talent is.
Has that been
like,
bandied
there.
about in like serious conversation?
Oh, like there's been like I've seen like some like offers that they really want like for. And then again, I remember when the Melbourne CEO, when Brad Green was CEO, and he demanded 3 first-round draft picks for Cozzy Pickett, and I thought, geez, and at the time it was ridiculous. But then Cozzy Pickett's become a star since then, and he re-signed. So I hope the same happened with him because I actually really like him, and he has the talent there to be like the best player in the game.
That's it. I don't think Bailey Humphrey's going to hit that level. I think there's too many others in his way at that club.
Mm-hmm.
Brownlow medalist, the captain, Took Miller, track. There's so many players that kind of, and I don't think he'll ever complain. But I think the Gold Coast problem right now that we've touched on a few times tonight is their depth. They don't have like their top end is unreal, and then the bottom end of that 23. Just I think there's plenty of talented players, but they need time.
Well, there is actually some like talent in the reserves, like Jamara Ugle-Hagan.
Yeah,
he's like can come in. Jared Witts can come in the ruck. So they've got all these like they've got even talent that can come in that are just playing in the twos as well. But look back on Geelong, really good.
Let's get the Cats. We've done the Suns enough tonight.
Yeah, really good tonight. No one really stood out. Like Gold Coast like got a lot of the ball, but no one really stood out for Geelong. More like the team sort of effort. no one really stood out watching as well. Probably Max Holmes was best on, I'd say, for us.
Yeah, we'd be right up there.
Just coming off the halfback into the midfield as well. Well, George Stevens, I know he only had the 11 touches, but I didn't really notice him. But did he have like no centre bounce attendances tonight? Or
George Stevens? No, no, he was there for a couple, but it wasn't many.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can find anything. No, I'm not going to be able to just pull that stat from the typical generic pull on the AFL side. I don't know. We'll have to wait for that one to pop up. But I'm pretty confident. Oh, hang on. No, that's ruck contests. No, nothing immediately available for me unless I'm just missing it. But someone who's watching, if you've got that stat handy, feel free to pull it for us because that'll be a handy one. But yeah, look, I think he attended a couple, but nothing ridiculous. I was still pretty happy with his output, given he played about 60% of game time.
Oh yeah, definitely.
In fact, the fewest amount of game time, like the fewest minutes of anyone on the ground. So
I was actually surprised that Bruin only had 11 touches. Felt like he had way more than that. Like last week he had 23. I thought I barely noticed him, but tonight he had 11. It looked like he had 25 out there. Like,
I think it's because they were pretty much all hitting the target this week. he really, like some of those ones that barely elevated off the ground and just pierced through these 25-meter long kicks, hitting his teammates on the chest. That's what's been missing for the last, I don't know, month and a half. 2 months, maybe.
Probably. Yeah.
Probably since about round 5 or 6, the disposal efficiency started to nosedive a bit.
Yeah, hasn't really probably had a good game since the West Coast game in Gather Round where he was through the midfield. Maybe had his moments since then, but hasn't really had like a good game since then. But tonight he I'd say had a good game, even only with 11 touches. So.
I think it was an excellent 11 disposals. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
A lot of important body lining stuff too, and recognizing, look, I'm probably going to get tackled here, but I have to commit. Gets the ball, gets wrapped up, no stat, but halted any momentum from the Gold Coast. So I think there were some really good things from him that will go unheralded on top of everything else.
Yeah, definitely. Even someone who who won't get a lot of the ball, but I really like the way Ollie Henry competed tonight in contest. You could really tell he was like getting really physical out there, competing at contests. He was really jumping at the ball. I really liked his aggression. So even though he might not get much, he had 11 touches, 2 goals, which is really good for him. But
the couple tackles is the thing that impressed, continues to impress me. Like he took that feedback. It was the lack of defensive effort, the lack of defensive pressure, and he's bringing it. Sometimes that results in tackles, sometimes it doesn't. But you can't question the effort and the fact that he's making his opponents work for it, which is great. Yeah,
physicality was really good from him as well. Just in terms of the actual game, like the whiteout thing, I really liked it. From sitting where I was, it looked really good every time when we kicked a goal and everyone had the towels waving. It was superb. I
wish I could have gotten there.
I would prefer if we like had the tops as well. Like it would like the towels and the top, like that combo. That'd be awesome.
So did they only provide the towel this time?
Yeah, it was only the towels tonight.
I think I'm with you. Provide everyone with the shirt, encourage them to buy a towel. The towel can be really cheap. You're making 30,000 of these things, so you don't need to sell them for a premium. Sell them for $10. Most people will probably buy them, getting into the theme of the night. I think last year's was a more striking, and I've watched both of them on TV. Haven't been able to be there, but last year's was a more striking sight because the whole ground was just a sea of white, as opposed to this occasional white when people started waving their stuff. So I'm with you. I think that makes a lot of sense.
I'm just wondering, could we like switch it up one year and do it in blue? Like I know that it looks blue anyway, but could we have like a blue jumper or something, or everyone's wearing like blue out or something? Like just change it up or something. Or could we do it where like every like section one is white and the next one is blue, and it's just blue and white, and that's the way it is.
Yeah, no, that could work really well. Just like what you might see on Grand Final Day, where you've got
that.
the teams kind of paired against each other. It looks great there, but when it's coordinated even better to suit the Cats on our home deck, that would be unreal. And of course, there's going to be one section that won't be the case for the opposition supporters, but that is what it is. Just boo them.
Yeah,
nicely, kindly, of course.
So we got 35k last year when we did it against the Lions. I think the crowd was 30,000 tonight, but it was 35 last year when we did it against the Lions. It was Dangerfield's 350th as well. So not a full crowd. I guess when you're playing Gold Coast, like they don't really have many opposition supporters. Who are going to support us at all. So. Yeah, look, I really like the whiteout idea, and hopefully next year when they do it, they have the tops as well. And even if they do the tops, everyone can just. I assume everyone just took the towel home. You can just bring it with you, just keep it during that time, and bring it with you. People will just bring it to the next few games at home and just use it there.
Keep it going. Yeah, that's fair. I mean, Ben was waving his towel around before, and I'm sure he'll continue to bring it out with every game he goes to.
Yeah, and even like wearing the white jumper tonight, really, maybe you should have done that last year.
I really want to buy. I didn't go, but I really want to buy a whiteout jumper, but they're sold out. So,
okay.
Well, they've got kids ones available at $110 a piece.
Yeah,
not to beat.
Yeah.
Obviously, we've discussed a little bit, a bit of a team effort tonight, but were there, within that team effort, were there any particular highlights for you? We've obviously touched on a few players, but are there some others that you wanted to shout out or acknowledge, or did you want to kind of, actually, I'll just leave the ball in your court there.
Yeah, a couple of really good defensive efforts from O'Sullivan. I know King.
Shout out to Spartacus too, by the way. Sorry to interrupt you, but shout out to Spartacus having some health issues again. Didn't watch the game. I'll talk soon. Good win. Shout out to you, mate. Hopefully you're doing well, and we do look forward to chatting to you again nice and soon. Look after yourself.
I think, O'Sullivan had some really good defensive moments against King, even though King kick three or whatever had some really good one-on-one moments. Yeah, he always bet him one-on-one. It's just a couple of times King just got loose, and that just happens sometimes. I just really liked Shane Mullen did a really good job on Petrarca. And even sometimes it wasn't even playing on him, but Petrarca he had 20 in a goal, but didn't really think he impacted much compared to when he opening round. That was crazy.
Yeah.
Tonight. Yeah, it wasn't the same tonight.
Shout out to Osh for the work he did.
Yeah. Gold Coast, they had way more disposals than us, but we were just so much more efficient and better hitting targets and
and it was kind of down to the type of game we forced them into as well. We forced them into a really uncontested kind of, and a lot of sideways kicking, those sort of things. And it's reflected when you talk about, obviously they had 52 more disposals on the game, but Geelong had 15 more inside 50s. That's just between those two stats alone, that really highlights the difference in the two games that the clubs were playing.
Yeah, definitely. I thought tonight, just on the Gold Coast side, that Noah Anderson, he was a bit angry out there.
It was, yeah.
I know a few
No, sorry, go on.
I know a few umpiring decisions might not go your way or whatever, and Damien Hardwick just saying that in his press conference. Imagine if Chris Scott said that, the whole footy world would go crazy. But yeah, Anderson, he was a bit angry out there tonight.
Yeah, he was mouthing off the umpires once or twice. I haven't had a chance to listen to it yet. I kind of stumbled onto it while we've been live tonight, but there was I think he got interviewed by Abby Holmes. It might have been at halftime, and it seemed like, just from the quote that was there, obviously he couldn't hear it, couldn't pick up the tone, but there seemed to be a little bit of spice to even the way his response there at halftime as well. I don't know, both the coach's box, the players, they needed to just focus on trying to win the game.
And I haven't mentioned him yet, but Ollie Wiltshire, the 3 goals, 10 disposals. Yeah, fantastic if he's contracted till next year, so it's really good to see him playing those type of games.
Yeah, no, I agree. It was a nice step in the right direction, I guess, for his continued development. I've mentioned it a few times tonight. He kicked 3 career goals before tonight, kicked another 3. So naturally, he's going to double it again next week and kick 6.
Wow.
Yeah, no pressure. No pressure at all. But that's just how this thing goes. I don't make the rules.
Yeah. Kick 6. Even if you kick 5, I'll be disappointed.
Yeah. 5 goals. His opponent doesn't touch the ball, but not good enough. And he's probably going to have someone like Jordan Clark for company, I'd imagine.
Yeah.
So it'll be a tough matchup for him. But you've kind of said it. A lot of people said it. It's hard to identify kind of weaknesses tonight. And if our worst player is going to be Jack Martin, I can deal with that because he still did some pretty handy things with the ball in hand, but also without the ball in hand.
Yeah. Jack. Yeah, he did have that moment where in the first quarter when Brioli ran past the ball and then he picked it up and then got tackled. But Jack, not his night tonight compared to last week. But I wouldn't really worry too much about that at all.
No. Were there any others that you really wanted to explore and discuss a little bit tonight? Sully's come up a little bit. Shannon Neal's come up a little bit, obviously, with his kind of step in the right direction, return to a little bit of form.
Yeah, he was sort of coming up the ground a lot more tonight. I thought he took 9 marks of the 2 goals. Yeah, he was really sort of coming up the ground, to be honest. He kicked his 2 goals in the forward line, but I really liked the way he pushed up tonight, sort of like on the centre and the wing and stuff, taking some marks.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I think presumably with the support of the coaches, like the way that they all kind of read the room and realized what needed to be done to kind of derail the influence of Sam Collins and to allow Scratcher to get into the game. I think it was a great job. He thrived. And then some of those one-on-ones that he got with Sam Collins later in the piece, he started winning a few of them, which was great.
Oh, yeah, definitely. And then someone who, probably like second best on or whatever, but Ollie Dempsey tonight had one of his really good standout games. Some really good, like probably, yeah. But
third.
Yeah, one-on-one contestant marking, he was like phenomenal in that tonight. He had 20 and 2. He's been a bit quiet the last few weeks, Ollie, but glad tonight he had probably his best game since the Collingwood one. So really glad he had a good one tonight.
Yeah, that's fair. I would agree. Yeah, he's been a little bit quieter in the last. Not quiet, not completely silent, but he's not been as effective in the last. Oh, it's probably in sync actually with the losses, to be honest. But he's coming good again, which is great. Certainly, a lot of his numbers this year, he's tracking ahead of the PB, of course, from last year. I'm quickly looking at some of those now. He's averaging 18.5 this year, disposals versus 16.5 last year. Kicks are about the same. His mark to handball ratio has flipped this year. It was 8 and 7 before. It's now 8 and 9. So he's added a few more. I guess he's added a bit more of that chain, like that chink in the chain. Well, not chink, because that's kind of a negative implication, but like he's that next step in the chain. His marking numbers have gone up. His tackle numbers are similar-ish, just a little bit down. Clearances, whatever, that's nothing. Like there's a lot of things that are tracking in the right direction there for him. So if anything, his scoreboard impact is just slightly down, averaging a few, like only the 1 goal a game now as opposed to 1.3 last year. But no, things are shaping up pretty well for where he's at. But those numbers are what they are, despite having had a quieter run of it in the last little bit. So where are we? He had 14 and 18 in the games against Carlton and Adelaide.
Against Carlton, he had a good one, but then in the first quarter, but then went a bit like off after that, not like impacting as much. But yeah, was really impressed with his game tonight.
Yeah, happy with where he's at. Anyone else that you wanted to talk about at all? Or did you want to cast a bit of an eye forward to the Freo game and maybe even discuss how you think we might be able to bank 4 points there?
So the Freo game, so you've got to take the confidence in that we're the only team that's beaten them so far. So you've got to use that.
And we played horrifically for half the game.
Oh yeah, definitely. So you've got to use that into. But by the way, if we do somehow win, we'll Justin will say that we were more match hardened and they were coming off the bye or something. So
yeah,
yeah. So I think well, what do we have to do? Go on to Perth off a 6-day break. It's going to be challenging. So I don't really know about like Stewart will come back in.
Yeah,
I think Dangerfield will have a rest.
Yeah, okay, yeah, you're not the first person who has said that tonight. Ethan was saying that before.
Or does he just play because we have to buy after that and he can just rest after that? Or because if it's up, I think it will be up to him.
I think when it comes to Freo, we've got to find a way to kind of nullify that forward line. The midfield has got talent in it, of course, and there's plenty of weapons they can roll through there. But it's not, honestly, it's not that dissimilar in quality to what we've just faced tonight, midfield wise, and we got them. But that forward line, they've got so many weapons there. Whether it's the 3 key forwards in Tracy, Amos, and Voss, but whether it's Sam Switkowski, whether it's Michael Frederick, who's got a good knack of playing pretty well against us, Murphy Reid, who's obviously a gun. Shea Bolton when he goes down there. They've got so many options that they can throw through there that are the sorts that will cause us issues, especially the Switkowskis, Murphys, Boltons, the world. They're the ones, and Frederick, sorry. Like those smaller forwards, that's the stuff that keeps creating problems for us. And we don't seem to want to do anything about it. We seem to want to back in our own system. So we'll see. JW20 says, if you guys get towed up by Freo, so clearly not a Geelong supporter, if you guys get towed up by Freo, will you throw in the towel? Will you throw in the towel psychologically? No. They've got to come to Melbourne and try and win a premiership. So let's talk about it there.
Yeah. Who would Mullen
and that is
tag
by the way. I think both teams have every reason to be confident. I think we can get them in. Like I think we're like the weapon for both clubs, and I kind of expressed the same sentiment for this week's game, and it worked out pretty favorably for us. Is I think we can get Freo because I just don't think their defense is up to it, like up to managing the various different weapons we've got. Now, of course, if Danger's out, that has a bit of a bearing on it. Jordan Clark's fantastic. Luke Ryan, Alex Pearce are great, but I think I look at Carl Warner, I look at Heath Chapman, I look at Oscar McDonald, I look at some of the others that will roll through that part of the ground. I go, these guys are gettable. Like these are the weak links. They don't have as many as Gold Coast. I even look at Corey Wagner and Neil Erasmus on the wing and go, these aren't that cream of the crop. That's where we can get a leg up. I didn't even mention actually Isaiah Dudley is another forward weapon that I kind of forgot there for a second, who's fantastic as well. But I can see 5 or 6 players. I go, that's where we can get them, but we need to kind of button up and make sure our defense is on point.
Yeah, it's more.
I didn't even talk about Hayden Young. Holy shit!
Yeah,
pretty
Hayden
handy
Young,
bloke.
He doesn't rack up huge amount of touches, but he's dangerous goal and score involvement wise and inside 50s and all that. So that's where his danger is. It's usually their small forwards that get us, like Murphy Reid, Bolton, Frederick. That's where the danger is.
We need to shut them down.
Yeah, I'm okay with. I think we can match sort of like Tracy and Voss and that sort of thing. But yeah, I reckon Mullen should tag. I don't know. I feel like he should tag like a Hayden Young or Bolton because they seem a bit more dangerous than like Sarong and Brayshaw, to be honest.
Yeah. There's certainly merit to it. I think it's just it's in the case of playing Freo, you probably need to have, okay, here's plan A, B, C, because they are going to have so many that can roll through these different parts of the ground. And I don't know if we necessarily want to play a lockdown tag on someone who's, moves into the forward line. I think then we kind of rely on our structure at that point. And so then maybe you're shifting from, you're potentially shifting from, oh my God, we just mentioned his name, like from a Shea Bolton to a Hayden Young to a, an Andy Brayshaw, who are, moving through those different weapons based on who happens to be there. Which is a lot for Oisin Mullen, but he's, they've got to come to him. He can go to the midfield. They've got to come to him, and you just go and lock down on whoever that individual, that target happens to be. Yep. Didn't even mention Luke Jackson. What a test for Mitch Edwards that's going to be.
Yeah, Jackson
with Mason Cox off the bench as well.
Yeah, Jackson has been in great form. He dominated against Tristan Cherry. So, and we'll have like Sam DeConing as well, who can be back up and like compete against like Jackson as well. So he'll have support as well, Mitch Edwards. But yeah, Jackson is a danger as well.
Yeah. Well, we'll get to discuss that one in a fair bit more depth in the lead up to the game on Thursday night.
We can definitely get it done. I feel when like teams like they always sort of lose to the same opponents every year twice, I really feel we can get this done.
Yeah, no, I like to think it's a real possibility too. We're gonna have to be on the ball
last quarter, but I really think we can get it done.
Yeah, no, I'm all for it. Well, mate, before we wrap it up, I'd like to grab you 3-2-1 from the game, and then King Keary just sitting on his couch there having a great time with the real I'm a boss energy that we joked about with Ben before is ready to roll in.
I will give one to. Oh, that's a hard one because I know who 2 and 3 are, but I'll give one to. Jeremy Cameron gets it just because he kicked 3-5. Like he could have kicked like 8.
You could have blown this game apart.
He could have. So, like, I give him 1. 2 votes to Ollie Dempsey, and 3 votes to Max Holmes. Holmes 30 touches a goal. He did have 8 kickouts as well, and I don't think kickouts should ever count on the stat sheet.
But he runs out of the square, mate. He takes off out of the square.
And he got lots of clearances as well. So Holmes was best on tonight.
Nice. Well, Ben, thanks for coming on as always. Great to chat. Look forward to doing it again, potentially in about a week. Yeah, just under a week from now, talking all about what is hopefully a Cats win against the Dockers.
Let's go. We can definitely get it done. Let's see what happens.
All right, mate. Thanks a lot for coming on board, and we'll chat soon.
Thanks, Paul.
See you, mate. Enjoy.
See ya.
All right, Kiri. Look at that energy.
Oh, we are smoking that Gold Coast pack, Paul. We are smoking that Nepo baby pack, bro. Oh man, what a win! I'm tired as fuck, but holy crap!
I was going to say there was that real energy. I could see you in the background, just on your side, just perked up when you thought it was your chance before, and quickly flopped back down again and just taking it nice and easy.
Yeah,
look after yourself, mate. You're what, half an hour behind me, so it's just a tick past midnight.
It's it is now. Probably get up in 4 hours to watch a bit of the World Cup anyway. Canada's playing Bosnia Herzegovina. But no, it's I'm glad I'm not a soccer fan. This would kill me having to get up for some of these. Yeah, no, it's very pleased with the win. This was a game that we needed to get the 4 points in the bank, given you boys were talking about Freo next week. I'll just rip off the Band-Aid and won't beat around the bush here. I'm penciling in as a loss, I think. Like I don't think we could beat Freo next week in Perth, and they're flying at the moment. So we get this win here. First half, I thought we were much more efficient with the ball, especially going inside 50, because if that was one thing we didn't do right last week against the Crows and against Carlton, that was just like shots on goal. Yeah, I mean that second half, I think it was like the third quarter was like 2 goals 8. We could have absolutely blown Gold Coast out of the park for that one, but nah, look, I was happy with the performance overall. Like when Gold Coast applied the heat, we found a way to respond. 'Cause I think it was like 2 or 3 goals on the trot for Gold Coast that we just found a way back, and all around really good performance from the boys, and sitting nicely in the top 4. Sitting on third. Hawthorn have got a bye, which helps us. But yeah, we needed this win and got the job done. So very happy with that.
Yeah. What were some of the, like, in terms of some of the individuals, who were some of the real highlights for you?
Yeah. I loved Ollie Wiltshire's performance.
Gun.
He's just getting better and better. It's probably his best game for the Hoops. I think
looking real comfortable at the level now.
But I think it was like his second goal from the boundary line. He snapped it. I was saying to myself, oh my God, he's showing more than what Brad Close has all season at the moment. Like I'd absolutely have Ollie Wiltshire as one of our medium small size forwards right now. And I'll tell you this, like, if we know Tyson Stingle was playing in the VFL later today, but he's got to earn his spot
later
back.
today. We're at that point. Holy shit!
Yeah, he's got to earn his spot back. Like, I don't want Geelong to go into this like mentality of like the Australian cricket team. You big players like with reputation over form, and Tyson Stingle hasn't played AFL footy in about 8 or 9 months. He's got to earn his spot back.
Apparently, Mac had made some sort of comment early on that like he's got a good month-long block at least. So
yeah, he's got to. But like at the moment, Ollie Wiltshire was fantastic. George Stevens, yeah, look, I know the numbers don't say much, but I thought he was okay.
Agreed.
He got better as the game went on as well. I'll give him another game. Truth be told, give him another 2 or 3 more games to see what he could do. I think it's no use putting him in the seniors than dropping him to the VFL for the rest of the season. I thought
I think he could actually, like, to that point, and obviously, big game against Freo, but I think about the profile of those Freo midfielders, and someone who's a bit brutish like George Stevens could be pretty handy in that one, because
absolutely,
he goes head to head with someone like a Matty Rowell who's very similar. But I think I just can't see people being able to hang on to him from Freo. No. Obviously, Brayshaw, he's a bull. He attacks the ball hard, but he doesn't have that same level of physicality. Like he's just not that size. So I think there's an opportunity for him to really utilize some of the assets he's got.
Absolutely,
in the coalface next week.
Like he's a big fella. I mean, people are saying like, oh, he hasn't got the speed in the modern game, like whatsoever. But you need those players to win the hard ball and all of that. And we've got Bailey Smith and Max Holmes as the outside runners at the moment. I'll tell you who's turned a corner for me, Paul, and that was Ollie Dempsey. I've had him in the gun for the last few weeks. He was outstanding.
You're a monster. That's like shooting Bambi.
I mean, but look, I thought it was one of his better performances this year. He's running off of the halfback flank into the goal square. I saw more of that tonight. Yeah, he was back to his best footy at the moment. Mitch Edwards, very good in the ruck, as always. Good to see him back in there. Sam De Koning as well. So I think we got Sam's
obviously his role's changed a bit, but he's playing close enough to career best football at the moment.
He is.
Whether it's in the ruck, whether it's in key defense, he's just wherever he's going, it's just turning to gold at the moment. 17 disposals tonight. Yeah,
he was fantastic in the Adelaide game last week. I even saw it through the eye as well. But yeah, tonight on the TV, he was fantastic too. When we needed him down back, he was there. Oshie Mullen, I thought he did a good job on Christian Petrarca, truth be told. Like, Yeah, I mean, Petrarca ended up getting like the 20 disposals or like whatever it was,
They were
but
pretty ineffective disposals for the most part.
pretty ineffective. And whoever was the matchup on Ben King after half time, massive pass for me because that's one of the other threats as well.
Well,
Ben
that was Sully.
Yeah,
and
I
Sully
thought so.
basically had him all game. It was just I think he got like that first quarter in particular. I think it was like the team structure that was kind of the issue where like whether it was him, whether it was what was the other kid? Jed Walter, they were getting uncontested marks inside the 40. Ben Long was the same. Is it Ben Long? Which Long do they have? Long. Like they were uncontested shots inside 50, and it was because of how we structured up and we left ourselves vulnerable. So, and he got on the end of him because he's their obvious go-to target. But yeah, I think to your point, like kind of after that first quarter, in my mind, when things we kind of changed the structure of things, Sully was able to go and play the one-on-one role and control him.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. I'll tell you this because I'm looking at the stats at the moment, and this happened throughout the game. We were getting smashed in the uncontested ball, -73 in this one. And you think with these because Gold Coast they love their uncontested sort of game, chipping around the ball sideways. Normally, if you're losing the uncontested ball by this amount of margin, you lose the game. But full credit to Geelong, they were applying the forward half pressure, which we haven't seen the last couple of weeks. Like against the Crows, we were -27 or like 28 in the tackle count, and that's something I was absolutely critical with as well. And like to Geelong's credit, we absolutely applied the heat, locking it in our own forward half and all of that. Just could not the Suns just could not get their natural games flowing through, and that's just the standard I want to see, going forward. And this is the standard we need to see if we are any chance to beat Fremantle next Thursday night. We got to tackle. I said this to Ben on the tipping show as well. Like you got to tackle. Like that's what you got to do. I even said to, like the white out in the towels instead of we are Geelong, put tackle on that. Like
No, I think you're right though. Like, I mean, the tackling numbers, it was 62, 64 Gold Coast way. That's fine. They were chasing ass for a bit. But the thing that I'd been kind of getting frustrated with in recent weeks was the tackle inside 50 count. We've been well down for a little while, despite that being kind of one of our go-tos. Yeah. That kind of got itself back on track tonight. We won that one 12-8. The 12 is above our season average. It was a nice step back in the right direction where we've been failing dismally at that in recent weeks. So.
Yeah, and Tom Atkins, absolute bulldozer, back to his best footy as well. He was the guy I thought, well, maybe he needs a bit of a spell at the moment, but yeah, he was playing like a man possessed again. With eight tackles in this one. Bailey Smith got himself the 6. Shannon Neal, can't believe he's got 5 tackles in this one.
He really threw himself around. It was good.
Yeah, and that was great to see from him as well. But yeah, very, very, very pleased with that. Only 2 players didn't lay a tackle, and that was Jack Henry, and Jeremy Cameron. You could probably forgive Jeremy Cameron with this one.
I'm surprised he didn't get one. There's one I can think of specifically where, but maybe the ball, maybe the umpire said no prior, and so it didn't really count as a lockdown tackle.
Yeah. Oh, geez. He could have had a mass. I know you boys said this as well. He could have had a massive day between the big sticks as well. I got really worried when he landed on his arm and all of that. I thought, oh no, please don't.
Strider says you're going for aura points. How's that going, mate?
Oh, I thought I'd wear the sunglasses because I'm the one. I don't know if you got any other guests coming on, but
I can see Thomas sitting in the green. Well, I can see his like a blank picture, like a blank profile picture sitting there. There he is. But Thomas will be ready to crack the shits at me because I've been talking mad shit about him. Any opportunity.
He brought the curse to South Australia because we used to be the kings of the Adelaide Oval.
Thomas, it's not me. See, Kiri's saying it too. Everyone else knows. It's just you. You're living in denial.
Like Thomas,
you're not getting an apology out of me. Cop that.
Like Thomas, I love you, man, but you bring the curse.
Can you chill out with your aura? My girlfriend is on this app.
Nah,
Won't
but
be your girlfriend for long, apparently.
no. But yeah. What else? What else did I like? John Noble. He was absolutely off the bloody chain. I thought he racked up like 40 disposals the way he was going. He's become one of their better kicks as well. The Gold Coast. He used to bloody butcher the ball.
Yeah, I think
all the
I thought
time.
his decision making was pretty good tonight, and his execution was great too. The only thing, like Geelong started to hem him, and a little bit, and so he started going with a few sideways kicks.
Yeah.
That didn't really help them advance their game at all. But he didn't turn it over. I thought he was pretty good for him.
Yeah. He was all right. Yeah. Back to Geelong. Oh, yeah, my man Lawson Humphreys. Yeah, we absolutely missed him last week. He was brilliant. He was absolutely everywhere, second to third efforts. I love seeing him further up the ground, Paul. I absolutely love seeing him further up the ground. We've got to utilize him more up there. He's more than just a defender. He could definitely become like a wingman. Sit in the forward pocket. Yeah. I thought he was. We absolutely missed him last week. Great to see him back into the team. And yeah, our backline without Tom Stewart, we just look calm. We just look composed. Yeah, I mean Jake Kolodjasny, he had his sort of moments as well, but
he did some good things.
He did some all right things. Like he's another guy in the gun for me as well. Like
I think he's always going to be on that.
He's
in
always
that bottom
in there,
six, kind of close. Even if he has a good game, he's always one. He's one bad game away from being relegated.
I mean, he could probably have a stinker next week, and I'm probably going to bloody lose it. He'd bloody lose it, but yeah. Look, and
I don't even know who he'd go to be honest. Like, who is it Amos, Tracy, or Voss? I wouldn't.
Definitely not Tracy or Voss.
I'm anxious about all of them with him, to be honest.
Yeah. Oh, you're telling
maybe
you're
Voss,
telling,
maybe Voss, but even he's got the wheels.
He's a good contested mark as well. I'll be absolutely dreading like the matchups and all of that. But
Stewie coming back will help.
Stewie coming. I'll tell you this. I'll tell you this, Paul. This might be a bit of a conspiracy theory, but hear me out. I think the concussion protocol's bullshit with Tom Stewart. I reckon Chris Scott's playing smoke and mirrors. They're arresting Tom Stewart. They're going to bring him back for the game against Fremantle. I think it's smoke and mirrors.
Couldn't they have just said he's managed? He's an older player on our list. Couldn't they have just said managed?
Said he's managed, yeah, which they like to do quite a bit, Geelong as well, because they don't have the guts to say admitted either. But
well, I mean, to be fair, I don't think anyone was omitting Gryan tonight, for example.
Nah.
Or Tom Stewart. So
nah.
I mean, I see what you're getting at. I'm probably not gonna slide into conspiracy mode on that particular one. There's plenty of other things that I think are a little bit dodgy from the Cats from time to time, outside of the salary cap, just in case any of our non-Geelong supporters in here start to perk up.
I don't know. It just felt all of a sudden, because obviously we heard the news the day before the game, and because normally we'd hear it straight away after the game, like last week.
Well, it allegedly happened in like the final few seconds. So that might be how it kind of slipped through the cracks.
Yeah, because I never saw it. Like I saw Taylor Walker shoving Connor O'Sullivan.
Yeah,
and all that sort of stuff. But yeah, I didn't see anything with that with Tom Stewart. So yeah,
it's because honestly, the AFL has no idea. So if the commentators don't see it and call it out, then they're not going to do anything because they have no idea.
Yeah. Max Holmes, I thought it was one of his better games as well. I thought he was much more cleaner with the ball. His fourth quarter was excellent. I like him better in the midfield, if I'm being truth be told. Not really a fan of him at half back. Because especially at kick-ins, I get really uneasy when he's at kick-ins as well. Just play him where he usually is best, and that's on the wing. Sometimes he's good up forward. Like I forgot which game it was. I think it was against Brisbane or Sydney. Like he was sitting up forward. He was like he kicked a goal from 50 meters out. He's got a long kick, Max Holmes.
I mean, yeah, he kicked it 60 tonight for goals. So.
Yeah, and this is the thing. Like we're in the game at the moment. You need your midfielders to kick goals, and you see Bailey Smith. He pings the ball from 50 meters out. Put Max Holmes in there, and that allows, I don't know, players like Dangerfield to get in the middle, Tanner Bruin to get in there too. All of these sort of blokes, George Stevens to get more in the cold face.
Boy.
Just change it up. Yeah. But I thought Max Holmes, yeah.
Oh,
from him.
There we go. Sorry, I lost you for a split second there.
No, you're right.
Keep going though. Sorry, I missed. I missed something. As something, just a very brief, probably 1 to 2 seconds of.
Oh yeah, it's probably the internet coming in and out. So,
what'd you make of Danger tonight? Off the back of obviously a big one last week. I still thought he was pretty impressive tonight. Didn't dominate to the same level, but had another 22.
Yeah, 22.
Yeah.
Shit, he did.
Still attended a few centre clearances. Not as many. He was a bit more based in the forward line, but the balance was good. And that was all from 67% of game time.
Wow. Because last I checked, he had about 16, and I thought, that's his stock standard, because he had an unreal game against the Crows last week. But and I thought, oh geez, has he got juice in the tank to be up for this one? But I thought he was really good, and it just looks like that they're managing his minutes and all of that. When we need to put him in the engine room where we need to, we're doing that. No, I thought he was really good. Had a couple of shots on, shot on goal that he shanked, but look,
1 goal, 22 disposals. Good night.
I would still like us to maybe play that Scott Pendlebury sort of role for Patrick Dangerfield, but the problem is it's like they're two different players. Obviously, like Danger relies on his speed and pace, to burst out of the contest and all of that. Compared to Scott Pendlebury, his longevity is just like off the charts at the moment as well. But look, I like to see us give it a go. That was with Joel Selwood in his last season. We started him off of the bench. Maybe we see that later in the year, but no, I was happy with Danger's performance. And look, I was wrong after the Port Adelaide game as well. I wrote him off, but he's turned a corner. That's good,
And now he's already talking about 2027.
Oh well, that's another topic to discuss another time.
If he finishes strong, I'll entertain it. But yeah, you're right. That is another conversation for another time. My big thing with anyone who's like that, who's right at the absolute pointiest end of their career, and they're thinking about going on for one more. I know, like some people talk, but your legacy and finishing strong and those sort of things. Mine is more around the opportunity cost for the other blokes who could come in. But what does it mean for a George Stevens or an Ollie Wiltshire or some of these guys who could play either midfield or forward like Danger does? And the opportunities they miss because Danger hangs around for one more year. He may be useful for us for that one more year, but did he need to? And at what, who's paying the price for that?
And that's that's exactly my point, Paul. And the last thing I don't want his career to end up like what happened to Tom Hawkins. Because I think he's a injury or two away from calling it quits. Mitch Duncan as well. We gave him the farewell game, and that was it from there. Like, I don't want the same thing to happen to Paddy. It'd be nice. We send him off on a high as a premiership captain. That'd be fucking great. But
yeah, I think if we win that, then I think he's done. But I think that seals the deal.
Well, that could have been the case last year, but But we got to be realistic at the same time. Like you talk,
yeah, but we shit it up.
We folded like a deck of cards. Like I don't know why I'm talking about that right now.
All but 6 blokes.
But it's just like, yeah. But there are players. You got your George Stevens, your Hollywood, even your Jai Clarks, who's been killing it in the twos at the moment. James Warple, I think it's becoming a dud recruit at the moment. But I think other blokes are ahead of him right now. The only way he gets back into the team is if we have like an injury crisis.
Yeah.
At the moment.
Well, I think he was a free swing, right? Like it didn't cost us a lot. I think there's financially,
I guess so.
but, it didn't cost us anything. So it just adds depth, which is why I kind of changed my mind on the Toby Green thing. I initially put up a video. I was like, this is a horrible idea. Why would we do this? And then I thought on it. It's like, hang on, he's an unrestricted free agent. He costs us nothing outside of his paycheck, but I think he'll happily take less to come and be with his best mate and come back to Victoria. Hang on. If we're offering nothing and then it turns out that we get still something close to peak Toby Green, it's pretty handy.
I think I may have said this on another show.
But Toby Green is also not James Walker. That's the difference.
You're replacing a 30-plus-year-old for another 30-plus-year-old. I'd rather rebuild through. Like Darcy Wilson. I think we should absolutely go for him. He's a young man. If not Zach Butters, go for Darcy Wilson. I just you're taking out the old and you're replacing it with the old, like which we did with Isaac Smith 5 years ago. Look, that worked out. Norm Smith, premiership, cool. Sean Higgins, he was a dud. Luke Dowhouse, he was a dud. I'm coming home to Geelong, get to play for the team I grew up for. It's going to be the same thing with James Warple, I feel like as well. I don't know. It just feels like a dud pickup at the moment. But I just rather us generate more youth. At the moment, like for this one.
We've got the talent there.
We are doing.
You mentioned all those blokes, and then there's also the likes of Harley Barker that just came through the draft last year. We won't really see him because of his knee.
Barker, my man,
Hunter
Harley
Holmes,
Barker.
all these guys.
Yeah. How are those blokes going to be playing? Apparently, Harley Barker, if it weren't for his ACL injury, he would have been the number one pick.
5 or 6, yeah.
Yeah, he would have been. Yeah. Where does he get into the team if Danger goes on for another year, or we bring in like a Toby Green or all of that?
Yeah.
So
no, it is a good point. Like there's always a downside to bringing in the established big fish or even middle-sized fish like a Warple. Especially when you got the likes of Bose and those sorts of guys who are buzzing around the periphery constantly as well.
Yeah, who are like Bose,
who are AFL level players. They're just not getting their opportunity because the club they happen to be at.
Just not holding the spot in the team, because Bose is in and out the side. Tanner Bruin, I don't think his spot is guaranteed at the moment either. Like, I think he's a bit lucky at the moment, but yeah.
I thought he was great tonight, though.
I thought he was all right.
11 disposals, but I thought his 11 were fantastic.
Yeah. Had a good couple of moments, but didn't set the world on fire. But Jack Martin, I think he's going to get dropped. I thought he brought his Carlton form tonight. Absolutely made a meal out of that goal. Just don't fluff around with it. Don't do party tricks. Just
keep it simple, stupid.
Just keep it simple, stupid. Like, all right, if you're 7 or 8 goals up, yeah, fair enough. Toy with the opposition, but not when we need a fucking goal. Because from there, that just killed momentum in that first quarter. Because Gold Coast, they were on a bit of a run.
They were on
after that too. But yeah, they were just so lucky that they couldn't kick for peanuts. And Damien Hardwick, just shut the fuck up, man. I don't know if you've seen the press conference.
No, we've been. I haven't seen it, but I've seen a few quotes get pulled, and
like you think that they say that Chris Scott, he has a whinge and everything. If you haven't, if anyone on here, if you haven't seen the press conference with Damien Hardwick, go check that out, please. It's just unprofessional. This is an AFL senior coach. Like, are you kidding me, man?
That's fair.
And Nathan Williamson, you know, you could fuck off. You could absolutely fuck off. You know, like people thinking Geelong have protected home species and all that. You clearly haven't seen the Geelong game at Cardinia Park. Like, you know, I mean, look, the umpiring went bad both ways. I 100% agree with that.
Ways, yeah.
But my God, the Nepo babies, they were getting a run as well, and I saw it coming. You know, but Damien Hardwick, I reckon he's enough of the week, Paul. He's enough of the week. You got it.
Yeah, I'll have to watch the post match. It's less than 5 minutes. Holy shit! You'll see how it goes. I'll have to check it out. I've seen a few quotes get pulled, but I haven't actually watched it back because we've been doing the show. So
it's embarrassing. You know, but yeah, but look, I'll give you my 3-2-1s.
Fire away, mate. You can finally go get some rest.
Get some rest.
Oh no!
3 votes I will give to Max Holmes with 31 disposals and 1 goal. Nearly a kilometre gained. He just loves running. One of his better games as well. Back to his best footy. 2 votes I'm going to give to Ollie Wiltshire. 3 goals off of his 10 disposals. I reckon he's locked his spot for next week. He's definitely ahead of some other boys in that small forward position. So keep getting games into him. Absolute magic man, Ollie Wiltshire. And 1 vote I'm going to give to Ollie Dempsey. 2 goals, nice. 20 disposals. Just absolutely worked his socks off, and yeah, just felt like I was watching him back in his rising star season as well. Yeah, this and it's the standard I want to see from Dempsey going forward as well. We know he's more than capable of being a great footballer. But you know, I thought he turned a corner in this one, and yeah, and for the Cardinia crowd as well. Great night of footy. I actually wish I made the trip for this one too. This would have been a great game to go to.
Can't win them all.
Yeah, but you know, can't go to them all. But yeah, let's make it a frequent thing. Let's absolutely make it a frequent thing as well. Do it against the big clubs prime time too.
Under the big lights.
You got Fremantle with a Wolfie time, Port Adelaide with a Never Tear Us Apart. The Whiteout, this is ours. This is ours.
And it works. One. It's pretty cool. Yeah. Like I'm really desperate to get to one. I still haven't been to one yet, but I'm really desperate to get to one.
I'd love and just about, you know, home qualifying final with the MCG for us as well. Oh, that'd be absolutely electric. Like, yeah, and I love the Whiteout Guernsey as well. Like, I wanted to get
really
myself
want to buy one. I just can't get them.
I can't get them. They only got extra small and small sizes at the moment. I just can't believe it.
Now they don't even have that. Now they've just got youth. That's it.
Oh,
well, according on their website, they might restock. The website currently only has youth sizes. There's no adult. So
yeah, because I was trying to find something to wear for the game, but I got this. It does the trick. It does the trick. The Geelong retro shirt, but. Yeah. Anyways, Paul, thanks for having me on as always. Let's hope
thanks for coming on board.
Let's hope we get the job done against Fremantle.
Cats by 50. No.
Oh. We'll see. But who knows? I said, we'll probably lose to Brisbane at the Gabba, and you know they proved me wrong there. So who knows? Maybe it's the reverse psychology again. So we will see. And it maybe, you know, it'd be like Collingwood in 2011. Their only losses was against Geelong twice in the home and away season and in the grand final. So maybe Fremantle, they could go.
That could be the team.
They could go 20-2. They go to the grand final. We beat them. Like, that'd be funny. That'd be absolutely
nice. Funny. We're familiar with that one, so let's do it again.
Oh, that'd be nice. Anyways, Paul, thanks as always, mate.
Have a good one. Chat soon. And of course, everyone make sure to tune in and catch Kiri when he's joining Ben for the votes. When he's joining Ben for the votes on Wednesday night. All right. Thomas, if you're there, if you're ready, switch that camera on and we'll grab you in. It looks like you might be our... Oh, no. He's just disappeared from the green room. No. I've got some noise. There we go. The man who tends to jinx the Geelong Football Club, but also has diabolical curtains.
There's nothing wrong with the curtains, mate. Hey, look, I said I would go to the game, and look what happened. We won.
I know.
It wasn't me. I didn't rig it. The umpire's trade. Sorry.
No, very nice. I don't mind a good Trump reference. No, actually, okay.
Yeah,
we got to also, and you've got. I'm setting you a job in the meantime. You need to give Ben a bit of shit here. You don't have he hasn't set up a layout for you yet. You're well and truly due for one.
Oh, I've been on plenty of times. I see how it is.
Harass him on Discord, because I'll dogpile on top of that and start absolutely destroying him off the back of it. So, Strider Knight, who do we know who Strider Knight is?
No, he's been in the comments a bit tonight.
Been in the comments a bit tonight, but I don't know. I'm not sure who Strider Knight is, but reveal yourself, Strider Knight. Either way, curtains don't look great.
Mate.
Don't take shit from me. But you went to a Geelong game. You didn't jinx us. We won the game. Talk to me about the experience. Talk to me about the whiteout.
I think we need to bring the t-shirts back. It kind of looked gimmicky this time. Half the people didn't wear white, so it just looked sort of normal. And then with some, waving the white towels.
Yeah. Okay.
I really didn't like it this time around. Maybe if you had that idea, give the shirts out and then sell the white towels. Yeah, that probably would work. But yeah, I don't know. It just looked a bit gimmicky this time around. And I'm not sure what the hell they were doing with the dances at the start. That just looked very gimmicky and sort of weird.
Amateur hour stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, they had some.
They only
I think
very
they had
briefly
some
showed it
local...
on the TV, so it was hard to get a real read on.
I'll try. I filmed some of it. I will try and put it on Discord. But it was very gimmicky.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Was there anything else that they got up to? Because we saw the dances. Obviously, there's Geelong does a great job with the sound and light show pre-game. You factor in all the towel waving and those sorts of things, and it looked quite cool. But was there anything else that they did that perhaps the TV
didn't pick up on? So the one really cool thing I thought is I didn't realize it until the team started running out, but they transitioned really nicely from the dance show to the team run out.
Okay.
The saxophone's still playing. I barely noticed it until I saw, we're running out now. But yeah, that was a really, really sweet transition the club did.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Gone on another
they're
tangent.
saying that you have the curtains covered.
Nah, I really do like I kind of like his wine covered curtains. I don't know.
The red wine.
It's different. It's different. Speaking of something slightly different, definitely watched the Dimmer press conference. He had an absolute whinge. It was
Kiri was just talking about that there at the end. It'll probably be something I check out, and then he's recommending that I nuff Dimmer for it.
100%. You should nuff Dimmer, but also check out Noah Anderson at halftime if you haven't seen that.
Was that with Abby Holmes?
On 7, yeah. He was having an absolute... He looks like he wanted to have a meltdown regarding umpires. And he almost swore on TV and he was holding himself back and it looks like he was just going to, have a 5-year-old tantrum.
Yeah, right. I'm quickly scrolling through, so I've got it in my... Oh, yeah, hang on, here we go.
I can probably shoot a link over in a second.
I'm just listening back to it.
He was very emotional. I'm not sure what was going on there. I haven't watched it properly, but I think some decision happened right before halftime.
Yeah, he's just to his credit, he says, like Abby asked, know a quick word about the umpire there. You're able to tell us or let us know what that was about? And he said, I prefer not to. They're not the problem at the moment. So he kind of takes the responsibility.
Okay,
but
I didn't listen to the audio. I just had I think it was on X, and there was just a little.
Yeah, that's where I'm looking at the moment. So
caption, and I didn't have the audio on, but he looked very, emotional and something about umpires, and it was like
that was my initial take, and then I just listened to it. Then like, oh, actually, not so bad. But
Yeah,
Dimmer,
okay.
yeah, I think I probably have heard enough about Dimmer already to recognise that there's a problem there.
He was talking about something. He's like, just don't get me started about the umpires. They always get the rub down here.
Yeah.
Or something along the lines there.
Take a look at the numbers, Dimmer.
Technically, he's not wrong in the sense that I think we ended up with 2 extra free kicks, but
it was 24-20 tonight. Right.
But
the whole it's always this and it's always that, mate. The umpiring was shit ass both ways, and often we're like this year we've weirdly been on the right side of the ledger, but we're not usually on the right side of the ledger when it comes to umpiring across the season. We tend to be on the negative side of the spectrum. So,
Well, I generally feel like we should have been up by about 15 free kicks with the amount of holding the balls that, like, there's a clip of Chris, and if go through the match report on AFL.com and you'll see one of these holding the ball free kicks where I think it was Axe grabbed hold of I think Noah, and he did 360s. Noah throws the ball. It's called play on because all our players thought it was holding the ball. We stopped. One of their players kicked the ball straight in their forward 50 goal.
Yeah, right. Okay.
And all night there was these holding the balls that should have been called our way, and obviously we won. I don't want to sound very negative and like a crybaby, but there was so many of these holding the balls where should have been called our way, but then they were not even holding the balls called their way, where it's just like we sort of barely touched it and it flew out of our hand, or we shrugged the shoulders a little bit.
No, that's fair. I'm also just taking a quick look at the for and against tallies. In the last 10 years, Geelong has had a favourable freeze for to against tally. I think it's twice.
Right. Yeah,
no good in 16, no good in 17, no good in 18, no good in 19, no good in 20, no good in 20. Oh no, sorry, just slightly over 100%. In 2021. In 2022 was less than 100. 2023, no. 2024, no. 2025, 108. So a little bit above. What do we have? 18 more frees for than against. And then this year obviously is up, but that's also 18 more for than against currently.
Right.
So inclusive this year, 3 times in the last 10 years. So
yeah, okay. That's probably does sound about right, to be honest.
No, it's just people pouting. It's people making a fuss for no good reason.
No, protect the space, isn't that?
Yeah, pretty much.
What did you think of...
we are the Nepo babies. We are the Nepo babies.
Yes. No, it's we are the whiteout, apparently.
Yeah.
I saw Type Media's outrageous caption from Type Media, if you have a look at that after this.
I'll have to give it a look.
The caption, it was a bit like, oh, I'm not sure if I want to like that. Something about white power or something.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
by the way, side note, Oshy Mullen got the meat tray from Fox Footy tonight.
Did he? Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
No, he did a number on Petrarca. I mean, he had 20 something disposals, but I think his efficiency was up in like the low 60s from memory.
Yeah, something like that. That sounds about right.
Yeah, he absolutely did a number on Petrarca, which deserving. He's really, really come to his straps this year. I think as far back or as early as start of last year, there was still questions about him coming in.
Absolutely.
And like, why is he getting
that round
games?
5 or 6, we were all questioning.
And now he's just like first team. You probably first in the selection committee. Yep, Osh done. First person probably these days.
Right up there.
Generally, correct. Yeah, definitely deserving of that, which is good to see he's getting recognition now as well from the media. I thought Ollie Wilshire had an absolute game, and I kind of feel bad for Bright Close because obviously he's been such a good player for us a long time, but there's no way he's getting back in this team, especially with Tyson now playing VFL tomorrow.
And Grian was obviously out as well, so Grian's got a spot to come back to. Yeah, it's going to be difficult for him. And Brad Close was back on the right track again, but he might have been very quickly lapped.
Yeah, no, 100%. How do you compete with a 3-goal performance like that? And I think there was a shoddy kick. This first one was a shoddy kick inside 50 by like Smith, and he mopped it up and just slammed it on the boot and snapped it in, and it was just like, doing what he needs to do, and his pressure inside 50 was also very good tonight, or last night, I thought.
No, I'd agree with that.
Just trying to think who else. Holmes off half back was really good.
He was super
I
dynamic.
think that's probably the first time this season that I really liked it. There's times that it has worked, but it felt a bit flaky, and it felt we've got that height across half back as it is, and it felt like a bit of a liability because he's not really a defender. He's more of that receives the handball and starts running out of D50 type player. But I felt like it did work tonight. One person that I feel like I really hope is get dropped, because obviously it wasn't his game tonight. We love him, Stevens. George, I think it's just one of those cases that he's been dominating VFL for a long time. He's used to it. He's not used to the pressure that of the AFL system, the AFL level. And he needs a couple of weeks to, get into it and, get used to the level. I really don't think dropping him straight after, one bad performance.
I wouldn't even call this a bad performance either. Like he did a pretty decent amount from 60% of game time in the end. He played spent fewer minutes on the ground than anyone. Got himself
his
a
second half was a lot
handy
better than his
11,
first.
and he really stepped up. Yeah.
Yeah, no, his I really liked his contest work in the second half. The first half, I kind of forgot he was playing, not gonna lie. That second half, he was doing a lot of good blocking and such in the contest that I really liked. But I would be very interested to see. I think he's a good fit to play against Freo.
I was saying that with Kiri just before. I think he pairs up nicely because they don't really have that big physical, brutish sort of mid.
No, they've got a very sort of
Andy Brayshaw's like an animal, but he's not. He doesn't have the physicality to go with it.
Yeah, their midfield is similar to ours, where it's more of a sort of 2-way runner, and 2-way running type midfield. Got those Smith Holmes type players. They aren't really getting in and out the contest. They blazing from one into the other, which is why I reckon the last couple of years they sort of weren't really doing very well, because they were playing that very slow game style, and it's just not the type of players they have.
Doesn't fit the list profile.
No, correct. So yeah, next week's gonna be a very interesting one. I'm not entirely sure we win that one. It'll be very interesting because how many wins have they got in a row now? Something like 13, isn't it?
I guess all but round 0. So what are we now? Round 14. They've had the bye this week. Actually, I should just look at the ladder. That'll just answer the question.
I think 12 then.
They've won 12 in a row.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, incredible. I think it's 2. I think 2 wins till they guarantee finals, right?
Yeah,
something like that.
Yeah. I mean,
or
take
even
that
with
to
the
the
top
bank.
10.
Obviously, they're not going to have a Melbourne style drop off. You wouldn't have thought.
No, 100% not. No. Even with the top 10, I think one more win would actually just guarantee the finals, considering percentage, if they keep their percentage up. So yeah, really good for them.
It'll be a good watch.
It'll be a good watch. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see about next week. It'll be good to get bank that 4 points, because we haven't had a good history, barring what we did to them in the Gabba against Brisbane.
Yeah.
I'm not entirely confident about that, because it seems like since the Sydney game, our pressure's been down, our contest work's been down, our kicking accuracy's been down.
This was a nice tick back in the right direction again.
It was a tick back in the right direction, but there was still some stuff we need to clean up that we look a lot worse. From memory, I wasn't seeing a lot of that handball game. It looks like we went to
we've put the forward handball away a little bit again.
Yeah, it looks like we went to this very sort of pre-2022 game style, this a lot of slower chip mark game.
But I think that's good, and I think you've probably been there when I've spoken about it. I've certainly done it in reactions and those sorts of things as well. It's just the ability for the club to flick between, okay, we've got our fast running and gunning foot-based game, we've got our fast forward handballing game, and we've still got the classic Geelong tempo controlling style. I think it's great that we've got all those. They're fresh, and we can switch between them. We've got plan A, B, C, and we can just flick the switch, which is good.
Mm.
Even if one mode is less attractive than the others to look at.
Yeah. But no, I would really like to win that game because I also don't trust off a bye.
Yeah,
I need to see a couple more years of
Brisbane, isn't it? So
yeah. When do they have their bye? They're on it now, or are they doing it next week as well?
I don't know. Let me quickly bring up the fixture.
Mm.
Brisbane, no, they play this week.
Mm-hmm.
They have the bye, then return to a game against Sydney and then play us.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, they play this week. They're off when we're playing Freo. Then we're off. They're playing Sydney, and then they got us. So
yeah. Okay.
They'll have a fair old fight the week before dealing with us. So
yes. It's getting a bit late, so I might do my 3-2-1 and let you go to bed.
We'll get some rest. I'm going to do a reaction video after this for tomorrow morning. So
got some VFL tomorrow. I can see Tyson play.
I might check the highlights out, to be honest.
Yeah, no, probably not.
Fire away. 3, 2, 1. What do you got?
Oh, I was going to say about Tyson. Only a month ago, the media, I think it was Caro saying that Geelong doesn't know where he is. He's done. Doesn't know where he is. Geelong,
and then he popped up in the rooms that same week after the Port Adelaide loss. He rocked up in the rooms. Yeah, well, seems like they found him all right.
Yeah, correct. Anyway, I reckon 3 probably Max Holmes off that halfback. I think 2. I really like Shannon's game tonight.
Yeah.
I'm starting to think he might not be sort of that deep forward replacement. I really like I've been liking for a couple of weeks now, or a couple months now. He's around the ground work. Sort of being that sort of Jeremy Cameron-ish replacement. He's a really good field kick. He's a really good field mark. He doesn't do the one-on-one contest stuff so well as of yet, but he, if you get him around the ground, he can stretch you out. He's a good athlete. And absolutely. We saw that again tonight, I reckon. And then I reckon 1, I can't go past Wilshire. Seriously.
Yeah, some good picks.
Yeah, I can't go past Wilshire at all.
No, that's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Well, mate, thanks for coming on board. Thanks for not jinxing the game and ruining it for us all. I'm glad you see the fun in it, because you've just become it's become a very easy punchline for me.
No, I'm not offended.
I see the head shake in the background, and then I see the comments. They're like, I think he knows I'm joking.
No, I know you're joking. I'm playing up to it. Don't worry.
Good.
Have a good night, mate. Yeah.
It's been awesome to have you on board. Chat soon.
Yeah.
See you, mate. All right. We are done. Thank you to everyone who's tuned in tonight. Cats get the job done by 45 points. Those scores 15-15, 105, beating the Suns 8-12, 60. Like I said, a 45-point win. And now we look forward to a game on Thursday night against the Fremantle Dockers, the ladder leaders, on a 12-game winning streak. Thank you all for having checked out this video. If you liked it, drop a like on it, subscribe to the Hoops Crew on YouTube, share this video with your friends and family, get the word out there about the Hoops Crew and all of the awesome content we're producing. From myself, Ben, and the chaps, there's lots of great stuff, so please subscribe and go and check it out. And if you like it, go check out our Patreon, patreon.com/thehoopscrew, where you can subscribe and get early access, extended, and exclusive content delivered directly to your email inbox. Please subscribe and go and check it out. That is patreon.com/thehoopscrew. It'll only cost you a single cup of coffee per month to get access to all of it. Lastly, you'll find me on socials. That's Paul James Games on Twitter, Blue Sky, and Instagram. The Hoops Crew, you find at the Hoops Crew. Until next time, thanks a lot for watching. Cats get the job done. Remain Geelong strong, and I'll see you later.
exploded. Don't ever look back. Then we got Paul, yeah, he knows his stuff. He's a man, he's a myth, taking on the nuts. The man don't miss, he loves to react. His words cut deep, he's a counterattack. Paul's on fire, brings a mic to life. Don't fuck with P-Dog if you value your life. Oh, they fuck shit up, yeah, they run G-Town. The Hoops Crew's here and they'll never back down. Jake, Tommy, Sambo, always rocking the game. Betty and Paul, man, remember the names. In the studio, Jake's bringing the noise. With Johnny and Sambo, the chaps chat boys, they're electric and they're ready to roll. The boys are on fire and they're taking control. Recaps and previews, yeah, they cover it all. Part of the Hoops Crew with Betty and Paul. They fuck shit up, yeah, they run G-Town. The Hoops Crew, baby, they'll never back down. Jake, Johnny, Sambo, always rocking the game. Betty and Paul, chasing glory and fame. Brad with the sleeves, Max Holmes and Jack Bowes. Tommy fucking Atkins, he'll break your damn nose. Stewie in the middle and Reese in the ruck. They see Big Jezza and they know they're fucked. They're the T-Town boys, go hard or go home. They're fucking insane, taking over the throne. Oh, they fuck shit up, yeah, they run T-Town.